Before
Hey,
we get
y'all.
too far, do I need to change anything in the Beyond?
Before we get going?
I think you're okay.
Yeah, because
Unless you used up spells or anything like that and you want a long rest or something.
no, I was wondering about the privacy setting thing.
I think you should be okay at least with the extension, but if other people if you want anyone else to see it, it's up to you.
I mean, it's all mechanics that I see. So.
Fike, congratulations! You are the lucky winner. You get to tell us all about what happened last session.
Hurrah!
Go fight.
Sure. Last week, we prepared for the onslaught at the Toast Fields. We all made last-minute preparations with the respective Knoll tribes, digging caverns and setting traps. And as we're all preparing for our appropriate doomsday, we hear the horn that is a mystery to us. Actually, is the Horn of Whitestone, and we were assisted by Percival Frederickson von Musel Kowalski de Rollo III of Whitestone. Thank you.
Take inspiration for getting the name right on the first try.
Ta-da-da.
I did it a lot, but thank you. Then we all took our positions. Father Fike hid in with the White Snouts in a cavern to ambush part of the approaching army, as the rest of the party had a very heated peace talk with Grood the Great, demanding us to bend the knee, and we denied that. Battle ensued. Percy was amazing. Everybody was amazing. Including, well, yeah. While I used Father Jacob's blessing to not die. Hey, this is my intro. And then, long story short, Shango got the killing blast on Grood the Great, scattering her armies to the four winds, and we rised victorious in beautiful bit of victory. And Erdan left us because we're a bunch of liars and crooks and thieves and pieces of garbage, apparently.
Gypsies, tramps, and thieves.
I'd like to clarify: Fike and Nox are a bunch of liars and crooks and thieves.
Yeah.
I didn't lie. I told them the truth.
Hashtag Fike did nothing wrong. And and then I believe we took a nap in the barn. And
we left with.
Oh, we didn't.
We left with Erdan walking off into not the sunset but the storm, as befits a servant of the Storm Lord. And so we pick up with, even in the rain that comes down, a party naturally just starts in and amongst the town of Turst. People come out in the rain. They don't even care. They're just, it's this weird, it's like, imagine if Woodstock, the rainy Woodstock section of Woodstock happened right after there was a huge defense of the town of Woodstock.
Okay.
Oh, bring on all the drugs, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
So
why is everybody on acid?
By drugs, I mean the epic moonshine from that one guy's house.
Essentially, yes. Wilhelm Nielsen is passing around the Turst special pretty heartily, and people are going nuts, and it looks like there's a bunch of mud elementals walking through the town at a certain point. But revelry is taken up. Even Percival has kind of let his his stiff demeanor relax a bit, as at one point some mud gets flung and hits him in the cheek and kind of streaks down and leaves a mark, and he doesn't wipe it away.
He's mellowed. He's mellowed in age.
He's
Cortana
mellowed.
does.
being-
Cortana does
he's-
just
madness.
Yeah.
and he throws something
He's
at it.
a father now, and that's mellowed him out a bit, and married life.
Priorities shift.
Exactly.
He's used to having
um,
worse things on him.
But some ambient celebration goes on as dozens of Terstians come up to you and all want to shake your hand, thanking you. Lastly, finally, after it seems like every single person in town has come up to personally thank each and every one of you, it feels like, for what you've done to help protect the village. This kind of weird, like, in the rain mud party potluck starts up. People are drinking and having a good time. Food has come out. People are starting fires even in the rain with the assistance of the local moonshine. And they're cooking over open fires. Ale is being passed around. And eventually you guys get a moment, Percival, as he pulls you inside and says, "That was a very brave act that you all did. I'm curious, what made you decide to stay and defend this town with the odds so stacked against you before you knew that we would arrive?"
I want to cast Detect Magic. So, as on the last couple times I casted, right, the hair starts
Yeah.
glaze over. And I want to look Percy up and down.
Cloak emanates a magic aura of ridiculous power. His one of his firearms emanates a magical aura. Several other items like his boots and a couple other things emanate magical auras,
But
including the
himself-
breastplate. Him himself,
Yeah.
he does not emanate any magical auras. No.
Okay.
But he has boots that give off transmutation magic. He has a gun that gives off evocation magic. His cloak gives off abjuration magic. So does his armor. And there's a few other things as well. Smaller things.
Are there other people around us, or is it just us and him?
Oh, I mean, it's kind of like a huge. It's like you're at. It's like you're at a block party. So there's just
Okay.
kind of like people all over the place.
Yeah, but like the immediate vicinity, paying attention.
In the
to it?
immediate vicinity, you guys could kind of have this little like talk circle going on with, how like at a party you kind of section off and there's like a small group of people, and so that's essentially what's going on. It's the five of you,
Gotcha.
or the four of you, or the five of you, and Percy. He's sipping at an ale.
Gotcha.
And he asks this question of you all.
Tersfield is in need of defending. The free people of Telderay are in need of defending.
Was also the right thing to do, I guess. Just seemed like it.
Turn yourself up there a little bit, John. I heard you, but I was just a little bit. If you could just turn yourself up a little bit, that's
I
better.
mean,
I,
Terst seemed
sorry.
kind
Go
of
ahead,
like
Sam.
Terst seemed kind of like the little guys. Those guys can't be forgotten either.
yeah, and
He nods at that one.
it's just honestly like the right thing to do. It's not just these people losing their homes, it's all of Taldore losing their food. That's not a good thing.
Well, half of Taldore. Yeah, we were coming up from Drenna to actually get you your caravans of fish and such from the coast, and we ran into this, so we're going to
As a
save your
matter
food
of-
supply. We're going to save your food supply.
Well, as a matter of fact, word arrived from Drenna not long before we left to come down and aid you. We appreciate the work you've done down there. I've been made well aware of your contributions to Drenna as well as now Terst, and it seems, if my sister's tales are true, that you've also been of great assistance to Whitestone not long ago as well, if this is the same group.
Oh yeah, with White Mane, yeah, we did that.
Same group, one less.
Yeah.
If you keep making yourselves so useful to the free peoples of Taldore, we may have to incentivize you sticking around.
I mean, I like that. That sounds nice.
Now, if you'll excuse me, protocol dictates that a captain celebrates with his men after battle. And he nods at all of you and says, "Will you be traveling with us back in the morning?"
Yeah.
What,
With Shango.
before you depart, the Rollo, a matter of great pressing lies on my heart. Have you been in contact with Keyleth in the recent days?
We try to stay in close contact as possible, but she has not reached out in the last few weeks. Why do you ask?
Or
I should have recognized. I recognized that you were one of hers.
I give a slight bow. For the safety of the Sephira, I fear.
The crisis orb stays silent.
Say it again, I didn't catch that.
The crisis orbs remain inert, he says. Here's a little Critical Role lore for you. Late in the campaign, they set up a thing called the crisis orbs, which were these glass orbs that were kept at. One was at each of the Shari villages. There was one in Amon, Whitestone. There's one in Vasselheim. I believe there's one in Western. Is essentially
Gotcha.
a early warning system if some shit was to go down.
So yeah, it's like a messaging system.
Yeah, it's
Beacons of
basically
Gondor.
is essentially the beacons
Yeah.
of Gondor kind of thing.
Uh,
Um,
the danger is silent, I fear too. In
he
what
looks at you quizzically.
What are the tales you have heard of Drenner?
Only that whatever evil maligned the lake has been dealt with, and fish flow from their magical waters.
You have come. I know. Quick background check. Like Shango does know Percy, right, and his relation to Keyleth and everybody.
I mean, yeah, you would have heard
Yeah, okay.
her tell stories about him,
Yeah,
about him and the rest of Vox Machina. Yeah.
Yeah. The entire time, like the moment he said that, Kratos is a little bit quizzical, but mostly just listening.
A shapeshifter was discovered amongst the leaders of Drenner, and I fear he's out for the tribe of Sephira.
What kind of shapeshifter?
Oh, he looked like a tiger. Backwards hands.
He looks at you. He looks at you with an understanding, with an understanding look, and he says, "Yes, they can be quite troublesome. Those Rakshasas."
Yeah, motherfucker didn't get hurt by any of my spells.
Thou knoweth of such a thing, Lord.
They are immune to magic that does not fall in at least the sixth sphere of arcane power or higher.
Damn.
Which makes them difficult to kill. I speak from experience.
Kratos looks very surprised at that.
Literally worthless. Myself, I was. I fear for his infiltration to be successful into other areas as well.
He looks at you and says, "Keyleth has dealt with Rakshasas on more than one occasion. I'm sure that the Zephyr are well taken care of." The voice of the Tempest is not easily put aside when there is danger to the Zephyr.
That is true indeed. I only hope for the early recognition of such danger.
Lord DeRollo, I have just a quick question, and I'll leave you to your men.
He looks you over and he says, "Ah, Dragonborn."
Who was the one that? Because was it rumors that you heard from about us? Because We didn't send anyone to Whitestone. And I fear that it might be this Rakshasa trying to integrate himself into more.
If you'll recall, I let you know that a certain Realmseer Eskelrine Darien had gotten tired of waiting to hear word from you. So he sent not only me, but another one of his errand runners to
Late.
fetch you.
Late on
Okay.
my report.
At that point, you see a human male. He says, I believe he can explain, if you'll excuse me. We can talk on the road tomorrow. My men await me for revels. As he turns on a heel and walks away, you see coming towards you a human male wearing chainmail armor, a shield with a large symbol of a sun on it, a bloodied mace hanging at his hip. It looks like he's was not sitting inside during the recent defense of Turst. A rather ragged, Rob, if you would like to describe what they see.
Sure. So I mean, I'm a 30-year-old human male. I've got, like you said, the mace and the shield, and standard vestments for the Dawn Father. And at my, I also have to the Dawn Father as well, and the symbol is a shield, or is the sun.
Mhm.
Besides that, I have green eyes, brown hair, pretty standard looking human, maybe a little ragged looking after what happened. So yeah.
So these are the people that you've been looking for, Darvin.
Awesome. So I approach you and say, hi, how are you doing? My name is Darvin. Are you the people that I'm looking for?
We're gonna kind of go down the line quick so Darvin can get a sense of what he's looking at.
Okay.
And we'll just start with Shango.
You are looking at a blue-skinned, humanish looking guy, if you're familiar with the people around. He has the Genasi blood in him. White hair, relatively long. It's grown out past the shoulders by now. Usually wears a sleeveless rope that goes down. Usually carries around, I think it was 2 feet long rod with him with a big residuum crystal at the top.
Yeah, it's weird. It's interesting to see actually, Darvin, as residuum is something that kind of comes from Whitestone. It's a green kind of like glass, like obsidian. It's like obsidian glass, but it's green in color.
Okay.
And it's used a lot for. You can use it in replace of like certain spell components that like might otherwise cost a lot of money, and it's created from breaking down the white stone of the Alabaster Sierras, which is part of Whitestone, is used to make it. And there's this huge chunk of it sitting at the top of this like cane that he holds,
Okay.
like a pound of it.
You'll notice on his right hand there's 2 silver bracelets, and if you look very closely, you probably recognize the symbol of the Storm Lord of Court amongst the charms that are hanging on it. So it's a bracelet with like about a dozen charms at this point hanging off it.
Yeah, you don't even have to make a religion check to recognize the symbol of Cord. Seao, give him a. What does he see? With Seao standing there.
A large man, about 6 feet, 2 pounds, about 35 age. Black eyes, tan skin, hairs long black to his cheek, shaggy in the back, with a slightly trimmed beard, like a goatee, maybe more.
All right, Noxus.
You are looking at a 6'5", 250 pound to you, he looks like a black dragonborn. And you would see that he has a tail. He has these markings on his arms that look very, very different and out of place. Other than that, the one thing that would stand out is his snout. It doesn't look like a normal dragonborn mouth. It looks more like a crocodile almost, or an alligator.
Cortanus?
Alright, so Cortanus is a about 5'9" human woman, auburn, reddish brown hair, with bangs, much shorter in the back, but with two like twin tails right over the ears, going to about like middle stomach. A little bit more formal attire than some of the others, kind of knightly, with a pauldron with a rose symbol on it. Technically 3 swords at her side now in 3 separate sheaths. Red belt, basically blue and red teal outfit, and
If you have
really
character art,
prominent.
you can post
Yeah,
it for
I have
him.
the character art. I'll put in the thing, but she also has a most prominent scar across the bridge of her nose.
Okay.
And finally, Father, another person that looks to be wearing vestments of a you know, again, you don't even have to make a religion check to recognize the symbols of Sarenrae, a very close tie between Pelor and Sarenrae. They are almost like brother and sister deities. But Father Fike, would you?
6'4", 200-ish pounds, long, dirty, strawberry blonde hair that's tied up in a bun, or a top knot bun right now. He has dirty, like, runny kiss makeup on right now, because he had war paint on, but the rain.
Yeah.
And he carries a set of daggers with him, and he has a modified symbol of Sarenrae around his neck, and his vestments are from bottom up is yellow to orange to red, looking much like a preacher, but more colorful. And they are absolutely filthy, and he looks like he's barely standing on his 2 feet, even though he's trying to be very presentatory and look like he's trying to hold his own. But he looks way worse for wear than anybody else.
Yeah,
Daddy
he
does.
looks like he took quite a beating in the fight. Actually, make a medicine check, Darvin, as you come up.
Sure. 7.
23. Yeah, he definitely looks like he took he had the hardest go of it in the recent fight. It was a bunch of hobgoblins, gnolls, orcs, goblins, bugbears, just
Yeah.
But anyway, they are minus one other half elf you were told about. All of them, there were supposed to be 6 of them, but these 5 fit the descriptions you were given.
Okay. Cool. So I guess I've confirmed that you are who I'm looking for.
If it is Opal you're looking for, then that is us.
So
Look at him
I've come to ask you guys if you know of a man named Eskel.
Realmseer, certainly.
Yes.
We have met the realms here, but we know of him.
He's been having some disturbing premonitions and visions that he from the Parkwood Forest. There seems to be some sort of an evil or catastrophe or something going on there, and he was hoping that you guys would help to investigate it and report back to him. any information that you could find, especially about a fellow friend that he has by the name of Uvok.
Yes.
Druid that lives out
Yes, Darvin, this was the particular point that Jekt. You didn't actually meet with Eskel, you met with his manservant, Jekt. This was the most particular point that Eskel needed to take care of. These people were supposed to report back to him about this druid companion of his named Uvok, and it has been months, and he hasn't gotten any word, and he's getting quite impatient.
Hey, didn't we?
Anyway,
didn't we-
however, you don't have to purvey that, Darvin, but that's how it was portrayed to you.
Close to the truth, his visions are. On a report, are we very late to him? Druid Uvok was found a while ago.
However,
Yet
we
more
had
pressing matters.
Yes.
More pressing matters have taken us a different path.
Yeah, wasn't he that one guy we found?
The
The one lady we found.
The woman, yes.
Oh, old woman. What?
Even though she was of orcish blood, she was clearly female.
She was definitely female.
Am I missing something? I don't remember this.
The body that we found when we were chasing after that bear-like creature and stumbled across the.
After we fought the big undead giant, and then
Right.
Red Dad blew up the tree.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
The evil trees.
Evil trees.
All of this, it sounds like they've had quite an adventure, Darvin.
Our apologies. We, as my lord hath said, we have been quite busy. We
I
did
just-
mean to return to the Whelmseer after this particular endeavor.
I just point
Yeah.
out to the battlefield.
Yeah.
I understand completely. So, yeah.
I see you joined in a little bit.
Yeah, there was a couple that got a little too close. I tend to stay more towards the back, as my proficiencies lie in healing others.
So you can at least hold yourself in a battle.
I don't want to say that I could hold myself against a true foe, but yes, against smaller, weaker opponents, I can.
Yeah.
Can
You've traveled the lands, Darvin. You can take care of yourself.
Can you remind me real quick, Darwin? Is he wearing armor? Like a breastplate?
He's wearing chainmail, like full suit of chainmail, and he has a very ornate-looking shield with a huge symbol of the Dawn Father on it of Palor.
I look at him quizzingly upon his note that he stays in the back. It's like, well, equipped for the back row you are.
I can't stand to see you, my lord.
I can take a hit. Not so much give out one. I rely more.
Again, I look quizzingly at the bloody mace.
Yeah.
That may says otherwise.
Roll an insight check, Shango.
Modesty is one of the tenets of Palor.
Yes, right.
As a matter of fact, modesty is one of the tenets of Palor. You can see that he is. You can tell. You've seen enough shit to recognize someone who can handle themselves in a fight, and you don't. Yeah, like this guy knows how to take care of himself. He's probably just being a bit modest. But you definitely, especially with a 22, definitely the part he says about his greatest talents lie in healing others. That's, he is a very talented healer.
Yeah.
Well, the Tustfields doth appreciate thy help, Darvin, and so do we.
Many wounded lie out.
Yeah, would you be joining us on this so-called mission that the Realm Seer wishes for us to do?
Well, they didn't forbid me from doing it, and seeing as the Dawn Father, doesn't particularly like evil, I think it'd be good to join you if you'd have me.
The more, the merrier.
Well, you gotta pass a test. first and go through a bunch of trials. It takes a long process
Yes,
to
you
join
find-
us.
A
What
test.
process?
Just like
they
the guy
go
looks immediately
we find one of
confused.
those clay jugs full of moonshine.
Make a deception.
You have to pass a test on each. You have to pass a test in Constitution by drinking something. You have to pass a test of
Yes,
strength.
what they say is this is one of the many trials.
Does that what happened, Vine Lord?
Noxus,
Yes.
Noxus, make so you're gonna make a deception check. You have advantage because Seau and Father Fike are helping you. However, you have disadvantage because Kurtanis was like, "What are you talking about? There's no test."
Damn it,
Johnson and
Kurtanis!
Shango are just
so-
confused as
so-
fuck.
Yeah.
So it's just a straight roll. And Darvin, make an insight check.
Take inspiration from me.
So 20 deception, insight
Okay.
from Darvin.
Good job. That's-
I'm a
Apparently,
hella good liar.
apparently they have this like cool little initiation thing for their group where you take you have to drink this particular liquid, and it's after a fight where you helped save the free people and heal, and the Paylor would smile upon such celebration and an initiation to a new group of companions and friends.
Okay.
If there's time to have a celebratory drink and let loose a little bit, this would be it. So why not?
All right. Yeah.
So Fike hands you a shot glass of a clear liquid.
Good luck.
And as you bring it up to your lips, you get this it smells almost like gasoline.
Fucking gasoline.
It's essentially grain alcohol.
I believe fire.
As you
Enjoy
throw
this
it back,
antifreeze.
as you throw back the drink, make a Constitution saving throw.
Nice knowing you.
I thought
19. You guys watch as Darvin just throws it back and just holds the shot glass back out for you. Darvin, that shit burns going down. Like it tastes like gasoline probably, but you straight face it.
Toss
Yeah.
is very
Fire.
surprised.
Wow.
was
You,
required for
you-
the.
Paylor hath acquired
you,
some followers this time, hath he
Yeah,
not?
you took that like a champ. All right. I was kind of kidding, but yeah, dude, you're totally in.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
Nobody drinks from the gut rot jug. I'm amazed.
Wait, but what about the arrow contest?
That's later. That's later.
That
Don't scare
one
him away.
seems like you might be joking, Darvin.
Don't scare him away.
Yeah.
Thou
So
must
you
forgive our
guys,
companions. They doth like to jest.
You're supposed to drink a couple down and then fire some arrows at a target.
Who's the target? I mean, what's the target?
hazing. It's good old fashioned, Darvin. But anyway, the town of Turst basically throws you guys a party celebrating you as heroes in the middle of this summer rainstorm. But the storm has kind of gone off, and now it's just like a nice, gentle summer shower, and everyone's partying outside anyway because they're already all wet and gross anyway. So they're just like, it's like this kind of cool, like atmosphere of just like, fuck it. We all just survived annihilation. Let's have fun. People are like running and sliding through, like slip and slide through like the mud in a couple of spots in the fields.
Katana avoids
people-
that as best she can.
There's
Can I go find Undurk? Undurk was the leader of the River Walkers, right?
So as I flip through my notes here real quick, sorry. There we go. Of the White Snouts or the Dustpaw?
River Walkers.
The River Walkers, yeah, Undurk was, yeah.
Undurk. Yeah. Can I go find her?
Yeah, you find her just getting up after having slid down one of the mud slip and slides. And she like shakes.
Oh God.
She like shakes.
Oh, God.
She like shakes off. She's got like her tongue. She's got like this big dog smile on her face, and her tongue's kind of like hanging out the one side of her mouth. And
Oh,
she like
dear.
shakes, and like mud and water like kind of flies off of her fur.
Noles.
As someone hands her a like a big mug of ale, and she throws it back.
I try to use a little bit of precipitation wind to not let the mud get on me.
Yeah.
Greetings, Honorable Undurk.
Hey, you lived.
So did you. I'm glad to see you happy amongst the folks.
She comes up and gives you a
like-
big hug.
I very hesitantly go like, oh.
You just kind of like leave your hands on your side.
Like hand on the sides, like, and be like,
Solidarity from Cortanis nearby. Just,
And as she pulls away, she licks you up the side of your face. And she said, make a history check.
the goodest
I
of
guess.
girls.
Oh boy. History.
Oh no.
6. This is apparently this is some weird cultural thing that you just don't understand, but
Yeah.
that's not to insult her.
I'm a little bit confused, and like I pat her on the shoulder.
She kind of looks at you like weird humanoid person with your strange customs. But she like accepts it and moves on, and she says, "I'm glad to see that you survived."
You can pat
Likewise.
the dog. Hashtag.
I have come to.
By the way,
extend you-
petting a knoll is kind of racist, but you don't. It's,
no,
you didn't know.
know
It's, you didn't know. It's cool. Just for future reference.
No, less of a pat, more of a pat on the shoulder. Like,
Yeah.
And I go, I assume Cortana stands next to me, so I pat her on the shoulder. I'm like,
Yeah.
Solidarity.
She kind of looks over at. She
Straight
looks
face.
over at you, Cortanis, and says, "Oh," and she comes up to give you a big hug. And then licks you up the side of your face. Make a
Little mess.
history check.
Lick her back. Lick her back.
Oh my god, history check from Cortanis onto something? Holy shit.
Yes.
This is old shit.
This is just like a knowledge check for his Cortana, since she is. 13. You remember you ran into someone back in the day who used to have run-ins with gnolls that said that this is kind of like this is how gnolls greet other gnolls. So this is almost like this is a high honor to get licked on the side of the face by a gnoll like this. It's essentially like you're one of us.
Just also very awkward, but just kind of like try to keep like a nod of her head, like,
Yeah, that's what you heard from a guy thousands of years ago.
our most gracious thanks for thy assistance.
likewise, I've come to extend the gratitude of not only ourselves, but also all of Turstfields. Your bravery and risk of lives shall not be forgotten.
You see her kind of get a little bit more serious, and you remember the logical nature of the Riverwalkers, and she says, "We share this world with everyone in a symbiotic relationship. What affects one of us affects all of us."
Wise words indeed.
This is most noble.
What will you do?
We shall head on our way. There's other matters to attend to.
You head north, back to Whitestone.
For the time being.
Be wary of those white mountains. Strange creatures lurk in that northern area. That forest is... I am not one for superstition, but that forest vexes me.
Noted. We shall watch carefully on our way.
Of course.
She gets kind of like grabbed by one of her tribesmen, who they pull her back into the celebrations.
Just like do
can I
like
do
an
something
awkward
real
like
quick?
C5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah, go ahead.
So as I see the chief walk away, I grab a giant thing of mud and make it into a ball, and I throw it at Cortanis.
Oh no! Yes!
Make a dexterity check.
Just a check? Or acrobatics?
No, just
attack.
Noxus.
Oh,
Make a dexterity check with advantage
I'll roll another one then.
because she's unaware. 18. What is your passive perception, Cortanis?
14.
14. Where would you like to hit her, Noxus?
Fuck.
No reflex save?
Yeah, right.
It's against
You're
your passive
surprised.
perception.
Yeah.
That's
You're
fair.
surprised.
Because you guys
If it was a
focused
natural
on
20, it'd be-
dealing
You weren't
with-
expecting
I-
Noxus to sneak up behind you and throw a
Nobody
ball of mud
expects the
at you.
knock.
Okay, so I'll tell you what I'm hoping. This is what I'm hoping. That as she turns around, it hits her in the face.
Oh.
All right. So as you
or on the chest. One of
yeah,
the two.
so Cortanus, as you kind of like wait a second to watch Mdur kind of walk away, and you turn to Shango and kind of like nod at each other and turn to rejoin your friends. Right as you're turning, the right side of your face comes around first, and just right across your cheek and all the entire right side of your face is just—it's not hard and hurt, but just like a of ooey gooey mud with probably a couple of twigs in there. And it just kind of like slowly runs down your face and falls onto the ground.
There's just like silence and like cringe for a few moments, and then probably the first time you might have heard like, there's like a slight
And as you
whimper.
as you kind of wipe the mud, as you kind of wipe the mud away from your face, the first thing you see is the shit-eating grin of Noxus.
How far away is Noxus?
Probably like 15, 20 feet.
15, 20 feet?
I'd be walking towards her because I was gonna. Yeah, I'd be walking towards her because I was gonna. Fix
Yeah.
it right after.
Was that most necessary, Noxus?
Well, yeah, because then I would have a reason to do this, and I cast Prestidigitation.
Oops.
All right, so he prestidigitates, and all the mud on your face disappears.
I would prefer if thou
And
didst
he's just
not
kind of
put it
like
on there
giggling with this
first.
perpetual grin on his face.
You didn't think I could use this to my advantage? This is gonna be a lot of fun.
And she just like slowly turns and gives Shango a god, my lord, why? Kind of look. Please tell me he is joking.
I'll go
I am not joking.
pat Noxus on the back, and while doing so, can I do like a mild version of shocking grasp? So it's like those old choke things where you shake someone's hand and they get like a little buzz.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I do one of those, like give him a little buzz with a pat on the back, so he gets like.
Yeah, make a yeah. So Noxus, as Shango kind of comes up laughing and pats you on the back, you get essentially it's like the equivalent of like those little shocking dog collars. It's like a little up your on like the back of your neck.
The fuck was that?
It's like enough to like jolt you. It's like ah.
Jumpy, my friend.
You know, like those handshake joke things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Only with actual electricity.
yeah. So he gets you back a little bit. But is there any other revelries or people that you wanted to talk to?
And more
throughout the
hazing
night?
to do.
Can I also go find if I would remember the name of the leader of Thirst, shoot, what was her name?
Of the shields?
No, not Isabella. Like the mayor of Thirst.
Oh,
Sure.
Margrave.
Margrave. Thank you. Yes.
Margrave. Oh,
Not Isabella.
Isabella
no,
was the
it's like
Margrave.
Giselle. Giselle.
Giselle.
Yes. Thank you.
Margrave Giselle.
Can I go find Margrave Giselle?
Yes, you see her sitting on a porch out of the rain. In a nice little rocking chair, sipping at a strawberry wine.
Also, as they walk away from Noxus, Cortanus is like looking over her shoulder slightly and gives one of those like, and then
I'm
keeps
gonna
going.
Revenge will be mine. But anyway, she's just kind of like, she looks like someone who just kind of like fell into a rocking chair on this porch and is just kind of like rocking back and forth in just exhaustion and relief. And she's kind of like sipping, and she doesn't even have a glass. She's just taking
The bottle.
drags off of this bottle of strawberry wine.
Greetings, Miss Margrave. A joyous day after all, is it not?
Ah, we're not dead.
Yes.
How
We're not
about that?
We're not dead, and we shall remember the reasons why we can be joyous today. And I just kind of look around and generally point to the direction of all the nodes that are still around.
Mhm.
Remember your neighbors and support your neighbors. if I may ask, of one little favor in return.
Darling, if it's within my power to give it, you can ask for anything.
Oh, anything.
Respect of your neighbors is all I care about.
Gnolls have always been welcome here, honey.
I'm glad to hear that, and I hope it continues. Not that I would say that I don't think it does. Do you need to refill
kinda-
your wine?
She just hands you the bottle.
Oh, good. And take a swig.
Yeah. She puts her
Take a
hand
little
back
bow.
out for it.
Yeah, give it back with a little
Yeah.
bow.
As she leans back in her rocking chair, just with this like smile on her face, enjoying the rest of
She
her
has good
strawberry
taste
wine.
in booze. I like her.
Yeah, much better than this green
Yes.
flaming. booze.
She's a little bit more
Green flame.
green.
Flame.
Is there anything else you guys would like to do during the revels before you guys get up in the morning? And
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shango and I would like to go over to
Say
not Shango, Seau, sorry. Seau, did you want to give it to the grave or did you
the priest eater, the sheaf of the priest eater.
Okay, yeah. So we want to give we found this gnarly looking like skull mace and Seau and I wanted to go give it to him personally.
oh, okay, Adnurk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys make your way over to an area that's kind of been cleared out, and there's a bunch of tables that have been taken like out of the tavern and brought out into like the town square. And Ndurk has got just like a barrel of ale that's kind of like perpetually refilling this mug in his left hand. And there's a line of guys at this table, and he's just with his other hand, with his right hand, drinking, is just taking on all comers in arm wrestling matches. And people are stepping up, and he's just wham, just like without even trying, slamming them down, and then starts pounding another ale, and then
True
while it's getting
spirit of grog.
yeah, like while it's getting refilled, he beats two more people in arm wrestling, and then takes another big swig. Because I mean, he's like a solid 10 feet, like he's huge.
Is he
priest
stronger than Grog without the gauntlets?
He's right around there.
Wow, that's pretty
Yeah.
strong.
He's pretty strong.
Carbs, man.
That's beastly freaking strong.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
But
No.
so that's what you see. There's like a line of like 8 people. And like a couple of them will get beat and go right back to the end of the line saying, "Oh, I almost had him."
Totally. So
Boy.
Seau and I will walk right to him. Like, nah, let's just go right to him.
You see, as he sees you coming, he lets out a big chuckle and fills up 3 mugs and comes over to you guys and ha ha, victory! And he hands you a bunch of mugs and he holds one out to cheers you guys.
Oh, I thought these 3 were for me.
Cheers.
He goes, he starts chuckling again, that kind of a deeper kind of hyena chuckle. And he slams the tankards into yours and starts throwing his back. As like some of it starts like spilling out the corners of his mouth down his chest.
I will do the same until it is gone.
Yup.
Constitution saving throws.
That's not bad.
Ooh.
Ooh, look at you.
Seau, you finish first. Noxus, you actually beat. You guys both actually beat Andurk in the chug race, and he and he kind of like slaps you guys on your shoulder, and you almost kind of like jostle a little bit just from how big and strong he is.
Holy shit.
But he says, "Today was a good day."
Indeed it was.
Today was a great day for Turst.
Yes. And for your people as well.
Indeed.
We wanted to bring you something to show the warrior spirit and how much we appreciate what you've done. Seau, want to give it to him?
Yeah. I pull out the mace that Donver had.
Yeah.
We believe you deserve a piece of the of the battlefield.
He
This
looks.
used to belong to an asshole I used to know, but I know it'd be better in your hands.
He kind of looks at you with like a genuine, like a genuine respect, and he takes it and he says, "I will kill many assholes with this." Not fully understanding the. and he
Yes,
kinda
I understand this one.
Yeah,
Total Cortana us.
I will smash many assholes with this. He says.
Huzzah!
And he kinda, and he kind of like grasps you on your shoulder and gives you a little headbutt.
Constitution save.
No. It hurts because he's like huge, but you're a hardy warrior. You're fine. He says,
oh, go ahead.
After our night of revels, where will you go?
We plan to go back to Whitestone or head into the Barchwood, I guess.
He looks at you. Head into the Parchwood. You have balls of steel.
Balls of steel.
Yeah, I try.
I mean, I got big balls. He's got big balls. We all got big balls because we did this battle.
He hands you guys another. Come tonight, we drink. And he starts throwing back more ales and goes back to his arm wrestling.
There's one thing I wanted to say before he walked away.
Yes.
And whenever you need help in any way, shape, or form, you'll always have my strength there. All you gotta do is call for me.
Same.
He nods his head, and he says, "You are always welcome amongst the priest eaters."
What are we gonna do? The Warriors handshake or what?
But he points over to Father Fike, but he says, "Don't bring him."
Fair. I'm fair.
I was about to say.
I mean,
walk
Ander,
off. I go to the rampart.
Ander.
He looks delicious. He kind of says with like a
He actually tastes really, really
a
bad.
half joking, half.
He really tastes.
I mean, they
he
are
really
called the
tastes
priest
bad.
eaters.
Yeah.
An
not
asshole's
that
getting
bad.
smashed. All right.
Anyway, anything else that you guys would like to do?
One more point
Throughout
of
the
order.
night?
Did we divvy out the loot at the end of last session? Because I think we read
found
it
out
on-
No,
what
we just
it
found out what it
was.
was.
We found out what I told you what it was. You technically in character don't know what it all is yet.
Yeah.
Right.
We can do.
We can
head
figure that out
we can
along
head
the
back
way.
to the barn and we can do that so that we all know what
Yeah.
it is,
Mhm.
kind of in game.
And I
I'm
wanted to
gonna,
see one more thing with the loot. Did Groot have any sort of like earring or piercing or any sort of jewelry on her?
She did not. She was very Spartan kind
Oh.
of.
Did Luzek have something?
As far as like jewelry,
Yeah.
why? I'm just curious. Why do you ask?
I want to
Charm,
add it to
right?
my bracelet. Yes.
She didn't have jewelry, but she did have what looked like some sort of signet ring, delineating her position in Hobgoblin Society.
Perfect. I'll grab that to add it to my charm as like a memento kind of thing.
Yeah. Remember the killing shot. Shango, yeah.
That
Shango
was
got
really
the killing
good.
blow on Groot the Great.
Yeah.
Is it like a little smoky on the side where the lightning bolt hit?
Yeah, yep, it totally is.
Nice.
Sweet.
Is there a little lightning bolt and signet in the side?
No. But there's like a little char scarring on it.
Nice.
So you guys have your merries and your revel, and you celebrate with the people of Turst.
How's Isabella? Like.
She's getting drunk
Sounds right.
with her men,
Yeah.
and they're singing like soldier drinking songs.
Yeah. As I pass by, she'll like look over to her and give a nod of thanks for actually sticking with it and agreeing to stay.
She gives you a wink.
Ooh.
She's very drunk.
And Cortanus is very awkward. But,
She gives you like this overly like not subtle at all, like super obvious, like leans into it, kind of a wink. It's you.
Noxus walks over and goes, "Taco or hot dog?"
What?
Like,
I'm hungry.
Oh no, he says that to Cortanis.
I don't think
discussed
that's any of you. But yeah, I think you guys already had.
We've already had this
Noxus-
discussion with
Noxus-
He's joking.
First
He's joking
rule.
with her.
First rule: never when they're drunk.
Do you require
I
sustenance,
like that
Noxus?
rule. That's a good rule.
Do you require sustenance, Noxus? We can find you food.
There's all right. So you guys find yourselves to a finally after the partying dies down for a little bit, it begins to quiet some, and
To the barn.
you guys find yourselves you find yourselves in the barn, just the 6 of you, as Darvin kind of says he doesn't really have a place to stay yet, so he asks if he can crash with you. As you guys, they take you to the barn where there's actually like a cot already set up for you, Darvin. So awesome, better than you usually get while you're traveling. Usually it's a cot in a cold back room of a temple somewhere. This is at least a nice, warm, cozy barn with some other people to keep you company, and they got a little fire going. But anyway, you guys find yourselves. Yeah, there's a carriage off to the side. There's like pimped out, baller.
Gatling gun in it.
It does not have a Gatling gun in it.
Yes.
But it does have booze.
Where was that? Where was that during the battle? We needed that.
I know, right?
We lost so many white snouts because of this. And there's a fucking Gatling gun.
But you all kind of just take in the moment of what you've accomplished together. As you guys quietly, there's still the odd noise of revelry happening coming from the center of town, but you've managed to sneak away and found a quiet moment to yourselves.
Did we really just do that?
I don't believe we did.
You did.
That makes town number 2. Oh.
So it's a pattern. So that makes us heroes, right?
That appears to go far. We might have helped Thirst, but a big word is heroes.
We did what needs to be done.
I mean, I don't really feel like I'm a hero. I just feel like I did the right thing.
It's not
Well,
like
that's part of being a hero, isn't it?
you can't be pompous and a hero. You got to be a little bit humble as well. So, Noxus, what you're feeling is correct. But it was very cool that we did just save this town.
Yeah.
Was super cool though.
Many allies.
She knows that one now. I had to look and make sure it was in my notebook.
In your journal.
She goes, verily, it was indeed super cool.
Many allies.
Most cool. Is
Many
this the
allies
point
have
when
been
one
on.
would give a high five? Was it?
Yes. Can I give her a high five?
Yes. Cortanis, take a point of inspiration.
Yeah.
I'd
Many
go for a
allies
high-
have been. Go ahead.
As high fives are shared all around.
I'm so proud of you, Cortanis.
I go for a high five. I accidentally
That
almost
have
set
kept me
off
from
the
any
glove.
more mud balls.
Oh,
Pretty.
Many lives have been lost today, but many lives have been saved.
So,
Hopefully.
Darvin,
Yeah.
you're new here, right?
Yes. Yep.
So I didn't do this before, and it fucked us. So I'm gonna do this now. If you're gonna be with us, yeah, I used to be a pirate. Wow, that's hard saying. I used to be a pirate. I'm no longer a pirate. Do you think I'm an asshole?
I mean,
And he's kind of swaying a little bit. Like obvious, he's had a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah. Make an insight check, Darvin.
Okay.
Going full 180 on this one.
Yeah. Here we go. Huh?
16. He seems to be a little tipsy.
Okay.
It's a moment of honesty. You get the sense that there's some context and baggage to this that you don't fully understand, but it seems important to him that you're okay with his past. So,
Okay. I mean, so Noxus, did you have to kill people as a pirate?
I mean, did I? I mean,
I don't know. Did you?
I never. Well, he's talking drunk.
Oh, okay.
I didn't. No. I mean, everybody else did around me. I did. I mean, I was too young. Captain said.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
you know, I can't blame you for following you know, your superiors. You know, if it sounds like you were pretty young when you were a pirate, so hopefully you learn from the past. It seems like, you know, saving this village is at least a good deed, and so you seem to be moving in the right direction.
I would definitely like to hope so, because yeah, those weren't fun days. I mean, they were good. They weren't great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has his alignment changed?
Has his alignment changed?
Yeah. Like I'm asking Noxus, I guess.
Oh,
Like from when he was younger, like because there is.
I guess that's a dance. John, what do you think? Do you think from the time he was working on the ship with with Gator to now that his alignment has changed, like mechanically?
Yeah.
Or if we play with alignments, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
we have alignments. It's not.
Yeah,
You know,
I would definitely say he is. Yeah, he definitely had a change in one or the other. He has
Yeah.
always been one, but he changed a little bit in the sense of following the rules and being a little bit more off the cuff. So
Okay. Cool.
Brother
Well,
Darwin, do
yeah.
tell. The ones in power are ever questioned by you?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
The ones in power, are they ever questioned by you?
The ones in power, as in the
Or
gods
even-
or the leaders of Whitestone, or
The
do you
leaders
mean by
amongst the leaders amongst the moles. You mentioned that Noxus was following orders
yes.
as
Well, I mean,
clearing his history.
you know, it depends on the organization, right? For example, my own temple, you know, I know that they're all good people because they're, you know, priests of, you know, the Dawnfather. They can't do too evil, otherwise they'd get kicked out. But you know, some organizations, pirate captains, you know, might not be good. So, depends on the organization.
I look at you appreciatingly, like, yeah, I like what you're saying.
Yeah, but Nox is definitely, you get the sense off of him, Darwin, that he's someone on a path of redemption, a little bit, maybe.
Okay, cool. This was.
But if there isn't anything else, what are you guys taking a rest, or?
What's the weather like?
It's still raining, but it's not like a storm anymore.
I'll just go sit outside for a little while. And
I think we wanted to go over everything that we found first.
Oh yeah, that's probably a good idea.
That is probably a good idea. What do you guys want to know? Well, you guys already know what it all is. There's a.
But we don't know in character, right?
You don't know in character, no.
Yeah. So, I think assume everybody has the notes. I don't know.
Where
I
did
did
we
not take
find you?
notes. Yeah, I
Um,
didn't take notes.
Okay.
I put
got,
it in the chat.
Yeah, it's in the chat, I think.
It's in the chat.
Yeah, it's up a little bit in the
Hang
chat.
on, let me see if it's in the bag of holding.
No, it's
Oh
not.
no. So
Yep,
it's
it is
adamantine
not.
plate, firebrand longsword, the potion of greater healing, potion of growth, Luzak's wand of fireballs, pair of daggers, belt pouch with vials of poison, that mace that you gave away, breastplate and studded leather, and pouches of gold for about 50 platinum worth.
Apparently, I missed half the stuff.
I'm putting it in as we speak.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to like one of the far stalls that we don't use, and I'm very slowly, very meticulously going to slowly cast lay on hands over every slightly cauterized sword wound that Grid left to me, so I'm not all wounded and bleeding out and at 1 hit point anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm just.
I was waiting for Darvin to maybe throw some healing at you.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
I didn't know
I got
that
it.
was, like, bleeding out.
That's why
He likes it, he
I
likes
had
it,
to
I'm
make
sure
the
it's
medicine
fine.
check.
I was literally like, I didn't want to interact with anyone because I don't want anyone to touch me, and I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, that's an open wound, dead.
Oh shit! Does he?
Touched
Does
you,
he?
Healy, to be fair. Yeah.
Oh shit! Does he look like that monk from freaking the Da Vinci Code?
No.
Death by 1,000 cuts. So yeah, very meticulously just going to, and especially because I've been told to not get hurt and not die, I'm trying to make sure that nobody sees me doing it. And I'm just trying to make sure that I get all the wounds as closed as possible.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure we saw how fucked up he was earlier, though.
Yeah. I mean, he was at 1 hit point for...
Yeah.
Good while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we dealt with that up because I thought you put your lay in. I thought you said you put your lay into hands.
Yeah,
into
you,
you when
yeah, you did
finished.
put your
You
lay on
did.
the hands.
Yeah, but we didn't. Oh, like I said, we were all tired. We didn't really.
Yeah.
We didn't really do it. So
It's fine. So that's what you guys have. Yes, you found a set of sending stones, or you found the matching other one to the one sending stone that you guys already had.
We'll no longer have the mace.
Do you
Alright,
find
it is
yourselves to a long rest?
I would think that would be a good idea. Oh, I remembered something I wanted to do. Hey Sayao, can I ask you a question real quick?
What's up, bro?
That glove that you have that shoots the that fire stuff. Yeah. Do you use that? Because if you don't, I would really use that.
Yeah, sure, you can have it. I think I almost set it off when we were giving everybody high fives earlier.
Yeah.
I don't really use it too much. I mean, to be honest, I don't really know too much about it, so it might be better in your hands. You want it?
Yeah, I'll take that. Thank you.
And I'll hand it over.
He'll
All
take it and put it on.
While they're
So-
doing that, Kotanis might wander over a bit and over to Seo. What that man said about thy brother, doth thou believe it?
Would I believe it? I don't think so, right?
That's up to you.
Would it be like an insight check or something to have believed it then? Like if I were to recall the moment or something?
Make an insight check. He's a hard man to read. He could be telling the truth. I mean, you never confirmed your brother's death. You never saw a body. So he could be telling the truth, or he could have been just trying to fuck with you.
I really couldn't tell, but if we have a moment, I would like if you guys could help me investigate. But right now, we gotta take care of Whitestone, or what we got to do now.
Yes, of course. If my lord doth agree, I would be willing to most certainly help thee. I can understand wanting to know.
But I appreciate you asking.
Back over and sit by the wall and up in her usual position, blade like
Is there another way out of the barn besides the one that Cortanas is blocking?
She's not in front of the door. She'd probably be across from the door, like keeping a watch on it.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a way. There's a couple barn doors.
All right, cool. I don't say anything.
Like, that's a fire. That's a fire hazard. You don't sit in front of the doors. Shango could burn to death.
You guys all find yourselves to a long rest after sitting out in the rain and meditating. Shango, would you be so kind as to join me in secrets?
Ooh.
Dun, dun,
Dun.
dun.
So D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond.
Yeah, D&D Beyond,
D&D
everyone.
Beyond.
The race is heating up between Liam O'Brien and
Sam Riegel for president.
Sam Riegel hates dogs.
Sam Riegel hates dogs. He not once pet the dog
What
on
the
Vox
fuck?
Machina.
But Sam Riegel apparently has a thing for putting the music in strip clubs, so...
Yeah, apparently.
But everybody else was the one that left the dog behind.
They did not pet the doggo. Why? Why?
You must pet the doggo.
Always pet the doggo.
And apparently now, Liam O'Brien is taking bribes of some sort.
What?
Giving bribes.
Yeah, Liam O'Brien did nothing wrong.
Yes, Liam O'Brien did nothing wrong. In the middle of the bit, he goes, "What is this bit even? What is it? What even is this bit?"
All right, I have a serious question.
Hmm?
How many hit points did you guys lose?
24.
I don't know for sure because it was on my token, and my
Right.
token is... I think I was down past half because of, like, even the negated crit and some other hits, I think.
Yeah, I had the what was it called? I had the Armor of Agathis, so I really actually only lost 15 minus 24. I am terrible with la math.
Yeah.
So I only took 9 damage really to my actual health.
Oh,
Look at
Jesus.
No comment.
No comment.
How
You
close
get
were
hit,
you,
did you?
man? Were you close?
Me? No.
No. Say how.
I don't recall taking any death.
We're pretty good
Motherfucker.
against the minion type, like the actual swarm type stuff. But yeah, Groove
Yeah.
got some good hit.
Yeah.
Normally when I run in, I start attacking shit. That's when like he starts like fucking hitting me with all this random shit, and then he might get a crit off me every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
That's when he fucks me up. Like that last time Donver with that stupid mace, he got me with that crit, and then supposedly it dazed me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that mace wasn't magical.
Yeah, that's why I wanted it. I'm like, shit, this thing has to be magical. I mean, but you know, it did what it did. And I'm like,
No,
what the
it's
fuck?
just for assholes apparently.
Oh, wait. How much gold did we get? Like.
Oh
yeah,
yeah. No, he said we got like
It's
There
50.
was
There
three
was 50 platinum worth of things, and then we didn't really take much for, like, we didn't really get any kind of stuff from the town. We just kind of did it because we wanted to, right?
No, I mean from the bodies. I don't
Bodies.
care about that.
It was 50
No,
platinum.
I think it
worth.
was like
50 platinum.
50 platinum. All right, I'll
Yeah.
just add it.
on both, right? Or was
For
it
everyone.
25?
It was 50 total.
Normal. Thank you for the follow.
Okay, so does the belt pouch have poison? Or
No,
are they
I. It's the first thing I asked. The belt pouch has no poison on it. Your buddy used it all up like a fucking dick.
I know. Well, technically, he didn't fight no one, so technically those should be full.
Well,
Because I killed him before he could attack.
I don't think he had anything from, because during the initial ambush, I know he used it. I know he used a good amount.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Okay, that makes more sense. But I was just saying,
What's
then
uh-oh?
he would still have
There's a
it. 'cause we
survival, a history, and a religion.
Uh-huh.
He's having a moment. He's having a moment.
He's having a
He
religious
looks-
experience.
This moment. I don't even know how that song goes.
For moments like this, some people wait a lifetime for a moment like this.
So yeah, Rob, we're a bunch of crazy bards.
Yeah,
who
right?
Play other characters.
Nope, not me. I'm a priest.
Yeah, I'm not a bard. Yeah, I do not play a bard. I have fucking 7 charisma. I'm not singing shit.
I am definitely
No, I
not
somehow
a bard.
crit my one performance check I've ever done in this game.
I believed you. I believe.
You are more than the sums of your parts.
Fuck you and your poo-bearing Cortaz.
You are not. I invented that phrasing because Pooh Bear has not been invented yet.
No, you fucker.
Canon.
You fucker. Plagiarizer.
Yes.
I mean, he's a charlatan, but he's a plagiarizing charlatan. That's worse.
Hey, we have a new guy who doesn't know that shit. That's not nice.
Don't speak ill will of the father.
Huh?
Well, you were
I
helping. You were aiding in the charlatanism with the drinking. So.
No, I wasn't.
Well, with getting Darwin to drink.
He was all for it. Don't,
Yeah, he was a champ.
Don't let her say you weren't.
No, I was
You know
talking about
what?
Fike helping you deceive him.
Yes. I will cast no shade under this tree because I know other things that I refuse to say on stream. So I will remain silent. Because I'm a good person.
You have
And
that. You
home.
have that spell. You have the spell cast shade. I cast shade.
Yeah, it's a level 1 spell.
It's a druid spell. You took a level in druid.
Yeah, I took a level in druid. I'm making I use wild. I use whatever. it
Wait a
is.
minute. You're trying to be a vat, aren't you?
No, absolutely not.
Druid over here.
One level druid.
What level of
He's
druid?
gonna make flower crowns for everybody.
Oh yes.
All right. So you all find yourselves to sleep for the night, and you come to consciousness in the morning, with the rain having passed.
Constance's off in a
And-
corner going through sword motions. She does it every single morning, like the same stances, just practicing.
Yep. As you come to consciousness and look out, the village is almost back to normal. A lot of the defenses have begun to be taken down, and people are getting back about their normal morning routines. The command tent has been taken down. A lot of the militia are saying goodbye and heading back out to their farms. And you can see Percival and his men taking breakfast outside of the Heart and Hearth Tavern.
Shall we join them?
Yeah.
Oh, my head.
Max, my leg's asleep. Max. All right. Yeah.
Who's
Let's-
playing their music
Alright.
through their speakers?
I mean, it is lovely, but it's very echoey.
Yeah, it's echoey. I don't know whose it is, but anyway.
Hey.
Anything you guys would like to do in the morning before you get back on the road?
I would
To
like
head
to go
north?
to that nice pond.
Yeah.
Outside of the Wilhelm Nelson's place, and
Yeah.
actually wash my vestments so they are clean,
Sure.
not covered in mud and blood.
Sure. You are able to do that.
Thank goodness
that's
for
it.
the prestidigitation.
And then I put that on.
All right.
Kutas will start gathering up stuff for herself and Shango just to get ready to go and bring it over to the carriage.
All right. You
And
guys
check
get
the
your carriage
horses.
ready? Yeah. Seiya, do you help get the carriage ready, seeing as how you're the only one that can drive it?
Yes, sir. Pet the horses. Be like, how you guys doing?
I've been quite close to this.
Dean, don't be getting too excited right now.
So you get them all set to go, and you guys, you meet up with Percival, who says, it's glad to see that your early rises. I yearn to see mountains again. Don't get me wrong, Thirst has its appeals, but you can just see too far into the distance. The horizon just stretches on forever.
I concur.
I think you might have that confused with the ocean.
Sir, Lord Dorolo. The ocean is the one.
Yes,
that-
an ocean of grass, and he points to the.
The mountain is where life is at.
Oh, right. I thought you were talking about the map. I'm gonna shut up now.
We all have our strengths. Young Noxus. You know, I traveled with a dragonborn in my youth.
You did now.
Indeed.
Did he have one of these? And then point at my tail.
Indeed, he did.
Oh, fellow draconian. They're very rare to come by nowadays.
Yes, his was a very brave individual. Gave his life in the defense of your city before it fell.
Oh, you mean that dragonborn?
Yes, his name was Tiberius.
Oh,
That. Toss looks confused and looks over to Noxus.
His name was Tiberius Stormwind of Draconia, and moreover, Vox Machina.
Yeah, he's like a legend. Like, Mom would tell me stories that I could be as great as him, and one day, and you know, moms always comparing you to someone greater, and definitely
They want
was-
what's best for us.
Yeah, but he was definitely one of them, and I'm sorry that you lost a close friend. I know what that's like.
So, shall we hit the road?
Certainly.
Yeah.
There's not a short march back to Whitestone.
Well, we have a carriage if you'd like to ride along with us.
Oh!
I assure your men will be able to defend themselves upon the road with your
How generous of you.
Yeah.
How generous of you. And he takes the carriage with you guys. If there's any conversations you guys would like to have along the road, feel free. But I was going to just kind of like fast forward us to fast travel you guys to Whitestone, unless there's a conversation you guys would like to have.
I think we were just gonna like pass out some of the stuff while we drove or something.
Okay,
like
what
that.
were you guys? Yeah, you can feel free to distribute stuff.
Cortanus was curious. Lord Dorolo, I must admit, my curiosity hath gotten the better of me. What is that sort of magical boltless crossbow that thou carriest, and with thy
He looks at you and he says, well, to be completely honest with you, there's nothing magical about it. It is a contraption of my own design that essentially sets off a controlled explosion using black powder, which allows me to hurl, and he pulls out a little musket ball, allows me to hurl these small balls of iron at very great speeds.
I have seen nothing like it before.
Well, there was nothing like it until I invented it.
Did he pull out his pistol?
No, he pulled out a musket ball, but you can see he is adorned with a few pistols, as well as what we know as bad news slung across his back. But sitting in the carriage, he's taken that off and he's kind of leaning it against the side of the carriage.
Hey, Lord DeRollo, can I?
You can call me Percy.
Okay, Percy. I found this at White Mains, and it looks a lot like what you have. And I pull out the pistol.
You see a look come across his face, and he says, and he reaches for it. Do you stop him from taking it?
I am reluctant at first, but I eventually give it to him. Kind of like hesitant, but I do.
As you recoil a little bit at first, he looks at you right in the face. And then when you give it up, he takes it and he says, the black eye on my family's name that I have left in this world. He sighs heavily and says,
I does not understand.
I appreciate you giving this up, Noxus. Usually when we find those outside of Whitestone carrying such weaponry, we shoot them on sight.
Well, I'm glad I gave it to you.
I'm most
You wouldn't have
confused.
shot
Thou
me, would you?
createst such a thing, and thou doth not wish others to use it for the better. I'm curious.
This contraption that I created I created this, what I call firearm, while my heart was filled with the search for vengeance. Vengeance for what was done to my family and to the people of Whitestone, my home.
My apologies,
These
I'm not
tools
familiar.
are exactly that, tools. And they are extremely efficient at accomplishing the job that they were created to do, which is end lives. They have been extremely helpful for me throughout my life in my quest for vengeance and returning Whitestone to the shining beacon on the hill that I knew it could be. However, there is a darker side to that coin, a legacy that will haunt me long after I'm dead.
My apologies, I did not wish to bring up such memories. I simply know nothing about Whitestone and...
Oh, well, allow me to educate you. And he starts giving you a very detailed account of the history of Whitestone from its founding all the way through to the liberation of Whitestone from the Briarwoods.
Starts taking notes. Pulls out the journal, pulls out...
Yeah, and the establishment of the Chamber of Whitestone.
Most fascinating.
Throughout the couple-week journey back to Whitestone, he fills you in on all of this. He tells you about how the Sun Tree was seeded in where Whitestone stands, as the land was scarred, as it is where Palor, the Dawnfather, did battle during Calamity with the Chained Oblivion. And where he was it's also where the goddess Ayun was wounded by the Chained Oblivion, and where Palor was able to defeat him. And so the scars that was left on the land by that battle, he planted the Sun Tree there to help create a place of divine good and righteousness in this scarred landscape. And he tells you the story of how his ancestors, the Durolos, came across from Wildmount to settle over here, and how their ship was crashed on the rocks of the Alabaster Sierras and the Salted Bluffs during a storm. And while trying to find shelter from that storm, they took shelter under the Sun Tree. And it is there that they built up the city of Whitestone. And then he goes on to tell you even more histories, all the way through the defeat of the Briarwoods and the establishment of the Chamber of Whitestone. And his, there's a lot of, and he was the son of, and they were the daughter of, and,
She's very curious about it, though some of it she got from, I believe, Fike at one point, but just good to fill in the gaps.
Yeah. Any other stuff that you guys wanted to take care of on the road?
I'm gonna pull Cortanus aside one night, and I'm not gonna sneak up on her this time because she doesn't like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Mud ball to the face.
Especially in a very small carriage.
Well, eventually when we stop and stretch our legs. Cortanus, I just wanted to speak to you if you had a moment to spare.
All right. And she's like a little worried about it this time, but she'll wander over.
I'm sorry I didn't take your advice. And I'm trying to put childish things behind me. And I'm going to try to do better. Because we need more level-headed people on this group. Because the loss of Erdan had me thinking such things. So,
Gives a nod at that.
feel free to feel free to like kick me in the ass if I'm being an idiot, because I obviously don't know as well as I should, and I'm spiteful and being hot-headed. So I apologize.
As long as thou seemeth to understand now, 'tis a start, and just know that if all goes according to plan, thou shouldst outlive me most greatly, and that is fine. And I would hope so. So take care of the others as well as yourself. Doth we have an accord? Shall hold out a hand?
I shake it and I pull her in just a little bit closer and I just go, I'm not leaving you behind. He goes, I will try my best. That's all I can promise.
She shakes her head at that. Tis fine.
Alright. Thank you. And I very sheepishly walk off.
Sheepishly.
Go back over to Shango.
Any other conversations that are going to be had on the journey back to Whitestone?
Percy, if you have a moment, you said something in the cart that struck me, and I wanted to ask your opinion on a matter.
Oh, very well.
You spoke of having vengeance in your heart, unpulled.
Yes, quite literally, actually.
How did you deal with that?
Not in probably the healthiest way. If you were to ask people who care for me. However, it did work. How did I handle it? I got my vengeance. And was lucky enough to have friends around me who, after I got what I thought was vengeance but was actually justice, they made sure that vengeance didn't consume me.
Did you feel any different when you got vengeance?
I did feel different, but the difference was that I had not gotten vengeance. What I had gotten was justice. The Briarwoods killed my entire family, save for my little sister Cassandra, who you've already met. And they infested Whitestone with their filth for years, while I was forced to live on the run thinking that my entire family was dead. Removing their stain from this plane of existence was getting justice for not just my family, but the people of Whitestone, from whom which they kept under their yoke for their nefarious ends. Granted, it's taken me all the years of my, he kind of chuckles and says, retirement, to come to this realization. If you would have asked me this question 15 years ago, I would have given you a very different answer.
Well, I ask because some very important people were taken.
Do you know who took them?
I have an idea. And I
What do
want to
you-
do not.
Sorry, go ahead.
I want to do nothing more than make them feel the pain and sadness and anguish that I feel every day.
Well, That can be a powerful motivator.
But it also scares me because I feel like I sometimes don't have control of who I really am anymore.
He kind of leans in a little bit closer to you and looks you right in the eye, and he says, contrary to popular belief, fear is a good emotion. Fear keeps people alive. It keeps them rational, and it keeps them from taking on things that are beyond them. It is part of our instinct that helps us survive. The fact that you fear these feelings in you only tells me that you're still in conflict with your greater demons, and you're hoping your better angels can win out. There's an old wise tale in Whitestone about a young man who was born that every man is born with 2 wolves inside of them. One that urges you to stay part of the pack and work for the greater good of the people around you, and another one that tells you should go off on your own and be a bit more selfish and take care of yourself first. And depending on which wolf you feed more will determine which one has greater control over your destiny.
What if I've accidentally fed the other wolf more than I should have?
Well, then perhaps it's time to put him on a diet. And he kind of leans back in his chair and kind of pats you on the shoulder, leans back in his chair, and leaves you to think about that for a while. Any other conversations that anybody wants to have on the way back to Whitestone? Other than Noxus?
Partway through, like, getting some history after a bit, like, when they take a rest, Katanas might lean over to Shango. My lord, I have been curious, what is a vox machina?
Rather remarkable group of individuals has roamed these lands. Was it 20 years ago, right?
Yeah, that's when they were doing their biggest stuff.
Yeah.
I assume he might have mentioned it because of Keyleth at one point, but it was more like...
Yeah.
Two decades ago. And the greatest of them all, my leader Keyleth, Tempest of the Wind, was amongst them before she came and returned to Sephra.
I did understand they were a party, but I am curious. Vox machina, I doth not know what it means.
Keyleth has never endeavored me into the nature of the name. For so I unfortunately cannot help you in this regard. Come to think of it, I've never required on their name.
When he says that, Mike over. Lord Dorolo, my lord and I have been curious. What is a vox machina?
He chuckles for a bit and he goes, "No one really knows."
Huh.
However,
So noted.
fun fact: the name of our little group was something else, a bit more inappropriate, until none other than Rautia Eskelrine Darien suggested Vox Machina to us. After performing a task for him.
Interesting.
This is like our approach. They are like inappropriate.
Yeah, after we broke into his tower. He says with like a kind of looking.
Breaking.
The stories
into
are
the tower
getting
was-
better and better, my lord.
Yeah.
It's
Breaking into the tower was part of
it's
the-
really quite complicated.
Please,
Is this
do
another
use us. We have
test?
time.
But anyway,
Sorry.
yeah, one part gods, one part goldfish, one part balls.
Bowls.
Brother Darwin, this healing, do you draw it from the Dawnfather?
Darwin.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Your healing, do you
Yes.
draw your powers from the Dawnfather, or
Yes.
are they of mundane?
That they're part of my duties as a cleric of the Dawnfather. So, yes, the power comes from him.
I presume they are a reward for your service.
Yes, as part of my training and service. Yep.
Do tell me, are you familiar with the magical means of understanding foreign script?
I don't believe so. No.
Unfortunate. I shall continue my search.
Do clerics have access to comprehend languages as a spell? I don't know if they do.
That's what I'm looking for. I don't see it.
I don't think they do.
Maybe
I
like a
personally-
I
knowledge
think
cleric.
knowledge domain clerics do.
Nope.
They
I don't
also
have,
have access to identify.
yeah, I don't have it. Sorry.
Yeah,
Nope.
no, clerics are not on the list.
Is that what you were looking for, essentially?
Yes.
Oh. I believe bards and wizards.
Let's see, what does it say? Bards. Sorcerers actually can also learn it. And
Oh, you
warlocks.
could learn it.
Hey.
You could learn it, Shango.
Could learn it
Instead of
myself.
trying to get everybody else to do your stuff for you.
But it's so much nicer if other people do the things for me.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you get most of that, so.
Oh, royalty. Ugh.
Don't go do the thing.
The funny thing is, he's not even royalty.
Pompous.
So if there's nothing else, is there anything else? Shango, did you want to talk to anybody?
No, just a quick thing with Darwin that I had.
Okay. Darwin, did you have questions for anybody?
No, not really yet.
Sayao, did you have anything?
Not really. Maybe
Okay.
just if we stop, just ask Knox about that fire sword.
Oh yeah. The fire sword. Did you guys dish out who got what on that, by the way?
We can do that right now.
Yeah.
If you want to, and on road you can decide who gets
Yeah.
what. So you had
Yeah.
the adamantine plate, which if you guys wanted to modify it to a smaller, like medium armor, you can. If you need to find a master black armor smith to be able to do that, to work with that kind of material, but you can convert it into half plate. You could convert it into most medium armors, you could convert it into most medium armors. And depending on how well the smith does, if there's anything left over, you might be able to make something out of some of the leftover stuff after you remelt it down. But there's there was the long sword that Grood wielded that appeared to have, when it would strike people, it would have these bursts of flame that came along with it. There was the wand that Luzak had, and a couple of potions, I believe.
Mhm.
Yep.
You recognize one of the potions as a greater healing potion without having identified. You've seen enough of them at this point to
Hey.
be able to recognize a greater healing potion when you see it.
It looks just
Just like
the
a
one in
wine
the pouch.
connoisseur. It's just like, right. Greater healing.
Yes.
Ooh, guys!
Ooh,
superior.
Sunny D.
Oh, great fruit
Right?
punch.
This is a great vintage.
You guys can hand out
Heals.
magic items. You guys can hand out magic items while I refill my water.
Okay.
I would like the wand of fireball, please. If
Fire
there are
bells,
no,
please.
if no one has objection.
I hear $1,
I'll
$1,
say give it to
$1
him.
for the water fireballs, $1, $1, $1, $1, going once, going twice, going.
Sold to
Sold.
American.
Take it, man.
All right.
Oh fuck.
Fike, did you
Oh,
want to pair
Django.
of daggers?
Shango, you are not allowed to say when I touch myself. You do not let the audience know. That is my special alone time, and I'll have it when I have you selling my special alone time.
It was out of character.
His special spell time.
Gotta go prepare my spells for the day.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Give me about 8 minutes. I'm gonna go prepare some spells. Woo!
You can do it in 3.
All right, so
If I'm in a rush, they got some material in front of me.
Cortanis
I'm
doesn't
good.
need any of that stuff besides, like, she'd hold on to the greater healing just in case anyone needed it. And by anyone,
How
I'm
about
probably mean
Cortana
Shango.
take the
But,
potion of growth?
yeah, anybody
I'd
wants
say I
potion
would
of growth?
want that.
Alrighty.
Because it's for strength, right? It increases strength
What?
stuff, so.
What
Potion
does
of growth.
It increases damage, I think.
Well, what it does is it makes you double in size.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes you one size category larger, and any weapon attacks that you make that are strength based
Yeah,
do an
so
extra
say it's
one.
for you.
It does. They do an extra 1d4 damage.
Yep.
And then you also get all the benefits that go along with being size category larger. Like you can carry extra stuff. You can,
That's for you,
you
Sayo.
jump farther, jump higher. So if say how you're
Million
like
dollar
6
man.
foot. You're like 6 foot.
Yeah.
So you'd be like 12, 13 feet tall after you drank that.
Alright, I was just looking at the firebrand longsword because I think I could dual wield with it.
You could dual wield with it if you have the dual wielding feat.
Yes, he
Yes, I
does
do.
now.
Well, then you could dual wield that and your battle axe.
Sweet. Anybody object to that?
You are
It's
all
a
good, my
strength-based weapon, so I don't know that anybody else really can use it.
Oh, does the
I'll take it.
I could.
does Darvin have anything magical on him? And
Yeah.
I don't know.
has,
None of you have really cast detect magic near him.
I'll do it.
He has his
I look
shield.
offended.
His shield is magical.
Yeah.
And he has this little sphere this little gas sphere that he carries with him that also gives off evocation magic.
I would ask, but I know he's very humble. And he'd be like, "No, all my gear is fine." So I'd be like, "Yeah, let me just get a straight answer."
Well, he's not. That has nothing to do with being humble. If you ask him a question, he's a cleric of Pelor. He's probably going to give you a truthful answer.
What kind of
Sorry.
armor do you got?
He has
So-
chainmail on.
Yeah. My chainmail is just kind of plain.
Is
Yeah.
that better than adamantine?
No.
It is not. No,
Do you want the adamantine?
he's not strong enough to wear plate.
Son of a bitch. I
He
tried.
looks very
Strength
strong.
requirement?
What?
What's the strength requirement?
For plate, I believe is 15.
Ha! I can wear it.
Well, you're not proficient with heavy armor.
You
Noxus.
need that
I
feat.
know. Yeah.
And Cortanis doesn't need the reduction in her dex, so.
Yeah. Heavy plate armor, you need a strength of 15. You need splint armor, you need a strength of 15.
I mean, I don't want to ask for both. That's kind of like.
If
Just take
Talar's
it,
the
dude.
one
You're
that
the only
can
one who can
use
use
it, then.
You also gave up the glove of blasting, though.
This
Yeah,
was-
dude,
otherwise just
you're the
sit
only
back.
one who can use it.
Yeah. no one else
Alright, don't
uses it.
worry.
I mean,
Oh,
I could wield the sword no problem. I'm incredibly strong, but Sayo obviously needs the help.
It
And
gives him the
I like-
eye dagger slightly. Like,
I am very strong. I don't know why everybody thinks I'm so weak.
okay.
so
I think
Sayao.
Mike was gonna. Oh yeah.
So the sword does not require attunement.
ooh.
It is a +1 sword
Cool.
that deals an additional 1d6 of fire damage. It doesn't necessarily like ignite. The blade just starts to glow red hot when you activate it.
Instant cauterizing.
Yeah, essentially.
I could have told you what the blade did.
Yeah, when you activate it, it looks like you
Same.
just pulled it out of like Smith's forge, like out of the hot coals.
This is fine.
And it deals an additional 1d6 fire damage.
Sweet.
So it's
happens if
+1
you
to attack,
crit?
+1 to damage. If you crit, you double the d8 for the weapon and the d6 for the fire damage. Double all dice when you crit.
Massive damage.
Nice.
Cauterize someone's lungs shut.
With the plate, you have disadvantage on stealth checks,
Yeah.
but it gives you an AC of 18. 19 because of your feet when you're dual wielding.
So, but I also got defense, I think.
What's that?
I got defense +1.
You have the fighting style defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
can't
so-
actually add your modifier.
So you can't actually add your strength modifier to your
Damage
offhand
rolls.
attacks. Damage rolls, yeah. You can add it to the attack rolls, not the damage rolls.
All right, never mind. It's a dual wielder and for fighting style. I don't know.
Yeah, so you have the dual wielding feat, which allows you to use like long swords and stuff, yeah, and battle axes while you dual wield. It also gives you a +1 to your AC and allows you to draw and stow 2 weapons as if they were one. The dual wielding fighting style allows you to add your strength modifier to your damage of your offhand strikes.
That's what I got.
Okay.
So if you want to have that instead of the defense, you can. Or you can keep the defense and you're just not going to be adding
Damage.
your strength to your offhand attacks.
All right.
It's up to you.
Mm,
19 is still a pretty fucking good AC.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're fighting
Good.
Grood the Great, where she fucking rolls like a 24, a 26, and a 27.
She has
Oh,
she had a +10 to her attack rolls.
You were fine. You were fine.
It's fine. You're good.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You're
Everyone's
alive.
Jeez, I didn't know
Yeah, nobody
Saturday
knows
was
that one.
full of whiners.
You're still with us. You're still alive. So.
Yeah, right?
I think Fike's taking the belt pouch with the vials, right?
There was no there's the belt that has the spots where you can put pouches, vials of poison. All of the poison was used though.
Yeah, but I think
Like a
did
jerk.
you still want it?
I mean, if it's from your former comrades, I wouldn't take it from you, but if you're not
No,
going to
I'll
use
give
it.
it to you.
Oh, great. Yeah, great. Put it on.
If that dagger's held, you want 2 more daggers? I'll give you 4 daggers.
Oh, yeah, all the daggers. I like
All the daggers.
very much.
I've had 2
You get a
daggers
dagger, and
from
you
the
get a
very
dagger.
beginning of this. But
I
I
need
didn't
to
use them.
I need to get a bandolier of daggers, like I'm Deadpool. I'm just gonna go.
That belt you just got can hold 10 single-use doses of poison,
Damn.
and it has like little vials that will hold the poison that come with it.
Are there little like flaps that go over the vials of poison?
Yeah.
So I'm not walking around with vials of poison.
Yes, yes,
Oh, okay.
This is fine.
So I'm like, oh, this is.
yeah.
Let's
So we
go
can
hunt some
store
snakes.
10 doses of poison. They're just all the doses are empty because he used them during the fight.
Yep.
Just fill them full of that booze from town. Moonshine in your eyes.
Yeah.
Pocket sand.
But yeah, you could, like I said, if you wanted to have a master armorsmith work on the adamantine plate, they could convert it to like half plate or a breastplate, and depending on what you converted it to, you could use the remainder to craft like a weapon or something. And the way I do adamantine weapons is they expand your crit range.
Cool.
So essentially, with an adamantine weapon, you can crit on a 19 or 20.
I already crit on a 19 or 20.
Yeah. Does it
Well-
stack with the champion fighter?
It does not.
Oh, can I crit on a 17 and 18?
No.
Just
Well,
thought I'd ask.
later you'll be able to crit on an 18
Yeah, I know.
at a much higher level. All right. So if there's nothing else, you guys, who took the wand?
I did.
Noxus did. All right.
I actually remembered another thing because we didn't talk enough yet. Asking basically the entire party, are we aware of any more ties of Groot or any more of Groot's subordinates. The entire army of Groot was at Turstfields.
I mean, some of those Ravagers I did see kind of run off, but they're unorganized. To start, I'm surprised she actually got wrangled them together. So
Yes,
I assume they're going to be hiding in their caves with their tail between their legs for quite a bit before they go out and ravage some poor farmer's cart.
A good assumption there, Fike. You'd also know that she must have had to put on quite the display of strength to get all of those Ravager tribes to follow her.
Yeah.
I would.
I assume she used like prison tactics. Eat up the biggest guy in the yard, and then
Basically.
You work for me now.
Basically.
Sounds
I would
alright.
not like this threat to return a fortnight from now.
I doth not believe it shall, my lord. At least I would say
Yeah.
not.
Well,
Wait,
any
can I hear
survivors now they're really, spouting the word of the Thunder Lord and all that goodness that rained down on Turst Fields and slaughtered hundreds of men in a single swath. So
It's
we're
quite
now
the display of strength, my lord.
It is the Stormlord, not the Thunderlord. Court's name shall be feared.
Good name.
oh, my apologies. I messed up. It's a Freudian slip.
Thunderlord.
Freudians. What is a Freudian?
Another
It's when you do a fuck up. It's when you do a fuck up, Katanas.
Oh, God.
another term to add to Katana's.
Yep, exactly. I'm adding it right now.
There's this guy. There's this gnome named Freud.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a gnome.
Yes.
He's right.
And he dealt in grease, and then he would spill the grease and fall in the grease. And we all
Yes.
call it the Freudian slip.
Just writing that down because she doesn't know.
Well, for the love of God, please don't write that down.
He gives you the actual explanation.
Okay. Thank
Cannon.
goodness.
Cannon.
It's canon.
All right.
Slippery
So,
nose.
you all arrive 2 weeks later in Whitestone.
White.
As you come over the hill, around the turn, up along the edge of the Parchwood Forest, you come up over the hill and see down into the valley all of the houses with the lines of smoke coming from their chimneys, and the white stone castle up on the hill looking over the town. You arrive back in Whitestone and are immediately escorted by Percival and the riflemen to Whitestone Castle, where you are brought in front of the chamber of Whitestone. There, you see Percival goes and sits next to his sister. You see there is an empty chair with a little name tag that says Grand Poobah de Doink, in charge of all this and that. You see sitting in one of the seats, you see where it says Guardian of Woven Stone. You recognize Lady Cassandra sitting there. Sitting in another seat next to Percival's, in front of Percy's seat as he sits down. You're in a white stone chamber, and there are banners that hang from the ceiling, all bearing the mark of Whitestone, which has the crest of Palor above a crest of a tree on a shield bearing a light blue, white, and purple symbol with 5 stars on it. And behind each of the seats, there is another version of this crest, but all of them have just slightly different variation to them. that make them. That's almost like if you're not looking for it, you almost don't catch it. In the center of this semicircular table, there's a large brazier, and you all stand in front of it. Also sitting at the table behind a sign that says Baroness of the Third House of Whitestone and Grand Mistress of the Grey Hunt, you see a half-elven woman with black but now salt and pepper hair tied in a tight braid that comes around her left shoulder and rests on her chest. You also see a bunch of other empty seats, all with titles in front of them. And finally, Percival stands and says, "Well, you would not believe the stories that have been reaching the Chamber of Whitestone as of late. The stories are that of individuals who have gone above and beyond the call to bring peace and prosperity to the areas under the protection of Whitestone. First, you helped us in dealing with a rather nuisance of undead pirates up in the Alabaster Sierras. Then you go to Drinna, freeing up our access to seafood and dealing with the presence of fiendish entities and cleansing the town of evil. And lastly, prepared to sacrifice your own lives in the defense of Tirst, so that all of Taldore does not starve in the coming winter. Here in Whitestone, we try to be an example for the rest of the world of what civilized places could be. And in that vein, we try to reward those who put their lives on the line for others. I spent an awful long time explaining the history of Whitestone to you, particularly that of our different houses and the contributions they've made to society over the years. After the damage that the Briarwoods did to Whitestone, there is still one noble house that stands empty. And I believe it is long past time that it is filled. I, Percival Frederickstein von Musel-Kowalski-Dorolo III, sophist of native ingenuity here in Whitestone, with the support of the entire Chamber of Whitestone, do hereby offer you titles as lords and ladies of the second house of Whitestone, as well as the keep that comes with it. Manor, I should say. As reward for your deeds defending the eastern side of Taldore, you will be lords and ladies of the second house of Whitestone, guardians of the East.
Just quite an honor, my lord. She has no idea what to say to this, especially since, she doesn't even know.
A great honor you offer to us, Lord Thorolo. I cannot speak for my companions, yet personally, I feel not that I am made of the material to be a Lord of Whitestone.
I mean, the title does come with some modicum of responsibility, I will admit, and not a lot of money, but it provides you with a manor here in the city, and let's call it a home base for you all to come home from after you've been out on your adventures. Take it from someone who's lived this lifestyle before. It's always good to have a place to regroup. And if I can bribe you into sticking around Whitestone and increasing the exceptional population, the population of exceptional people in Whitestone, I'm going to take the chance that I can get to do that.
Thank you, Lord DeRollo, Lady DeRollo. I probably do not claim that I speak for the party, but I graciously accept.
Well, of course you do, darling, as finally Vexalia speaks up for the first time. I don't know why all of you are being so celebrations. Thank you for all the work you've done, and congratulations on joining the population of Whitestone. You've worked hard for this. You deserve it. Don't look at this as a gift. Look at it as back pay for work well done. We wish we could do more to encourage you to do the deeds that you've already been doing and continue, and hope that you will continue to do them.
I will, for certain, continue to serve.
Do not look at this as a shackle to an anchor here in Whitestone. Look at it as a place of respite when your feet are weary.
Yes.
The lords and ladies are most gracious. Yes. And just like
Yeah.
kind of gets down like night type like bow to them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna like nudge Knox a little bit and like say thank you.
Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you.
Well,
Everyone's
man, I've never
awkward.
seen.
Yeah. Everybody's like,
Anyway, perhaps, yes, Darvin, would you be so kind as to show them to, show them to the manor?
Knox.
Of course, yes. And I tell you congratulations, and then I'll turn around and lead you to the manor.
Should we bring up the Rakshasa again?
They did mention fiendish entities.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Okay.
He knows about it.
Yeah, you guys told Percival about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Darvin, you lead them through down from the castle and through the streets of Whitestone, and you guys arrive at a large stone manor that appears to be made of either white marble or white stone itself, with clay slatted shingles on the roofs. There's a large large tower that comes out of one corner of the building. As you come up to the front door, which is a large wooden and iron reinforced door.
Okay. I assume I have the key, and so I'll
You do.
open it up and then hand at least one of them to each of the people.
Yeah.
Everyone else.
Well.
As you guys come into your new digs.
Katana has a moment of nostalgia. This is like feels somewhat.
Before stepping inside, I'll look up to the sky and mumble under my breath. How many more burdens are there to bury?
My lord, like look at that. Art thou alright?
Yet another burden seems to be placed upon us.
They
And I
don't seem to follow.
I fear for not being able to supply the strength necessary.
have the utmost confidence in thee, my lord. Thou hast shown such strength so far, and I am sure the Stormlord agrees.
I certainly hope so.
So,
Quite the map.
Shango, Darvin, you give them a moment to kind of get an idea for the house, which is somewhat furnished. It has 2 floors. It is, this is your guys' manor now.
Holy crap.
Oh.
It's shiny.
See, so me as a
Ever? So I don't know what to do.
me as a player wants to like run in and claim a room, but that's just
Then go ahead.
Till too late.
Go for it.
yeah. Like I mean, this is a little bit out of character right now. Like me as a player wants to do that, but I
Yeah.
feel like it's in Shango's nature to go
Well,
in there.
technically, wouldn't Shango have Cortana do it for him?
Yeah, right.
Cortanas, go claim me a bedroom.
Katana's bigger.
Move with great speed.
I mean, she probably knows her way around these kind of buildings. She'd be able to find the general layout of.
Yeah. So this is your guys' place. There's, you may recognize it if you guys are current on campaign 2 of Critical Role.
Yeah.
Is it what they have there?
Yeah.
Because it pleases me, it is indeed the they got.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
I've actually not seen it because I only listened to the podcast. I never
Yeah.
Yeah, I
seen
haven't
what they're
actually
doing.
seen it.
So this is the manor they got. You have
Nice.
this is down on the bottom here is the first floor. This where your guys' tokens are is the front entrance. There's an area that you could turn into like a little library / workshop area. There's a little study area over here. There's a small nondescript temple here that you guys could turn into a multi-denominational temple if you wanted to. Back storage room with stairs
We only
that
need 4
lead.
quarters.
Yeah, there's a back storage room over here with stairs that lead upstairs.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Another storage areas over here. Another little trap door there that goes down into the basement over here. A little cold storage like root cellar. There is a tower that goes up 2 stories, and then you can go up on the roof. There's an open roof on the tower. Yep.
Yeah.
And then on the second floor, there's a few bedrooms. Another like workshop / a nondescript room that you guys can convert into whatever you wanted. Some more bedrooms. Another like common area that you could do something with. Another area you could do something with. This is the second floor of the tower.
Is this actually something, this ring, or is it just?
Tell me
looks
that.
That ring is not actually something. It is
it's
where
a really
you
pretty
may.
carpet. It's a glowing carpet.
Yeah. If you wanted
It's a
to install a teleportation circle in there, you could do that.
I want to install it over here.
But,
Fuck you, it's there.
Feng
So-
shui.
It's a feng shui. Yeah.
quickly,
Best place for it.
Darvin. After you give them about 15 minutes to kind of help give them the nickel tour, you know that you desperately need to get these guys over to Esco.
Oh yes.
So as you guys get to see your cool new house, you have to leave immediately to go see Eskel. Darvin leads you through the streets of Whitestone again to a large tower that seems kind of like haphazardly placed almost in the spot that it is in the town. It doesn't look like it's something that would normally be put there. It looks like someone came along, like a giant came along carrying this tower and just kind of like set it there.
This looks good.
But he leads you up to the front door of this large red brick tower, and you knock on the wooden doors, and you are greeted by an individual that you recognize, Shango, as Jekt. White-haired individual wearing a fine suit, standing very upright, and says, "Oh, you finally returned. Lord Eskel will not want to be kept waiting any longer. Please follow me."
I've already my sincerest apologies for the delay.
apologize not to me, but perhaps to Master Ramsia Eskelrindarian, when you see him. He leads you over to a spiral staircase, and you go up several flights of stairs. It seems like you go up more flights than there would have been from what you could tell outside. It looked like it was only like a 3 or 4 story tower. It seems like you've gone up like 6, 7, or 8 flights at this point of stairs. But you continue up until you come to a set of large wooden double doors. These are the chambers of Realmseer Eskelrindarian. Please comport yourself with the proper respect that is due to a former maker of the Arcana Pansophical, if you would be so kind.
Everyone just immediately looks at Noxus. Just
He turns back around and opens the doors. As you come in, you see a extremely well-appointed, what looks like a bedroom, actually. There's a large office desk off to one side. All the walls are lined with bookshelves that are filled to the ceiling with tomes that seem to freely float about the room. Being put back, others being pulled off, and brought over to what looks like a single, extremely old human man who is in what looks like pajamas while lying in this very large bed. He looks like he is doing this because it doesn't look like he could probably get out of bed. He is extremely old. There are wisps of hair that remain on the top of his head. Large crooked nose in the front, pointed chin, kind of large bifocals, reading. Looks like he has 6 or 7 tomes all open, floating in front of him in like a semicircle, and he's taking in all of them at once. As he notices you, he weakly is able to lift up a hand to beckon you forward, and Jekt kind of motions his hand in for all of you and stands by the door.
I step up towards his bed and bow down.
give a nod and follow Shango and bow next to him. Our most deepest apologies, Ramseer.
As you all come in, you hear the doors close behind you as Jekt closes the doors and does not come in. As you come up to the bed, you see an old man sitting up on big, comfortable bed with fine, downy pillows. His back crooked, and he even just sitting up, he looks like he's hunched over. Liver spots on his hands, and loose, leathery, wrinkled skin. Some cataracts in the eyes. He looks ancient. As you come forward, he says, "I've been waiting quite a while to hear from you, young Shango."
A great delay has been burdened upon us. Our apologies.
Concerning yourself with the matters of hobgoblins and farmers, I see.
Indeed, the matters of the freedom of the Thirst Fields. But we do bring word, and I pull out, I think I got a letter and a talisman from her.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, so I pull out those 2 things.
He takes the talisman, and you see a look of recognition on his face. Go ahead.
Upon Druid Overk, we came indeed. Unfortunately, too late in time, as she was slain by the side of the road.
You see his eyes close, and he kind of leans back into the pillow as he grips the symbol that you gave him, the token. And he says, "I feared the worst."
The worst has come true. I am sorry for these news, but such is the truth.
He says, "Were you able to determine what happened to her?"
A track was followed into the Parchwood Forest, and I cast Minor Illusion, trying to recreate the paw print as much as I can that we were following.
All right. He looks at it and says, and kind of weakly strokes his chin a bit. You see him deep in thought, and he says, well, I feared for the worst. My visions have been dark as of late. I haven't been able to figure them out as of yet, but soon I will, and I will call on you again.
Perhaps this information might be of assistance. Another shapeshifter appears to roam the Parchwoods. As
There are many shapeshifters that roam the Parchwoods, young Shango.
these prints turned human, or like footprints,
Humanoid,
right?
yes.
Humanoid.
Yeah, the prints turned humanoid. As much as I can recollect from like weeks ago, trying to make my version of that.
Yes. He takes in the information.
And traces were found of traveling of the arcane nature through the trees.
It would have been a druidic nature through the trees, but
Druidic nature, yes.
he looks concerned and says, more divination I will have to put into this. Hopefully I will be able to find the answers before. And he just kind of trails off and says, well, you've fulfilled the tasks I set out for you. It is time that you are rewarded. Jack spoke to me of the problems that you've been having, and I believe I might be able to help, though it will take some time and training.
I hope I can be of further assistance. Please do not hesitate to call upon.
Oh, I will. We'll have to get to the bottom of this. These visions I've had, they've only come this strong once before, and I ignored them then, and
Might we
I
ask
won't
what
make
they
that
entail?
mistake again twice.
Seer.
There's something emanating from the heart of the Parchwood. The Parchwood has always had a mysterious nature about it, but there's something different about this. Something more sinister is at work.
Quick question to the DM. Did I catch that right, that he was basically offering me Shango training?
Yes.
Nice.
For now, I must rest. You can see that even just this little bit of conversation has taken quite a bit out of him. And he says, as he kind of waves his hand a little bit and whispers something under his breath, and Jecht comes back in and says, and opens the doors and kind of motions for you all to leave.
But of course.
Thank
I
you.
will send for you, young Shango.
Thank thee for thy time, Realm Seer.
Humbly wait.
Yes, indeed. As you all leave, Jecht says, the Realm Seer drains easily these days. I will come for you when he is ready to begin your training.
We shall humbly await your call.
Thank you. He leads you back outside, and you guys head back to the your new manor. And what we are going to do...
I assume you tell him where to find us, right?
Yes.
It's like, hey, by the way, you're over there.
Yeah. And we are going to do a bit to close out the night. We're going to do a bit of a time jump. We will be traveling. It is the beginning of Brusendar. So you guys are like right in the heart of summer. And we are going to be jumping forward 3 months. To Quenpelar. So you guys have 3 months of downtime. You guys also upon further exploration of your new manor, in one of the storage areas, you find several chests with a note on them that says, "To get you started, Percival." And in and amongst it, because the house isn't fully furnished, a lot of the utility rooms are left to you to do with what you will. But amongst all of the chests, you guys find 25,000 gold pieces, or the equivalent thereof.
Spike's
gold
face.
pieces.
Look at that.
Well then, I was
Should I
just
put that?
in the kitchen, but
Should I
you know
put that
what,
in the
now-
party? Should I put that in the party fund?
No, that is.
No, it's mine.
Yes.
Mike wants to Scrooge McDuck in it.
So you guys have 3 months of downtime to do stuff. Part of your downtime, Shango, will be spent training with Eskil. But you guys can take a moment to think about it. If there's any downtime activities you would like to do, any crafting of any of you are proficient with tools, if you guys would like to spend some of this gold you have to customize your home a little bit, install enchanting rooms, arcane laboratories, you can install, you can hire staff.
Knox, what is my my portion of the party funds before we added the 25,000 gold pieces?
Okay, so what we have right now is, so whoever is a mathematician, good at this, go ahead.
I have a calculator.
We have 144 platinum pieces. We have 1,318 gold pieces. We have 3,133 silver pieces. We have 6,149 copper. So, however we divvy that up.
And your 25,000 gold in the chests was in platinum.
Oh, amazing. Can I have 250 gold pieces?
But it was 25,000 gold pieces worth of platinum. Not 25,000 platinum pieces.
Yeah. No, it's different. Very different.
Oh, I wish. Oh, I wish we could be
He's really
like, yeah,
Scrooge
we're done.
McDuck in that.
You'd game over. You'd retire.
Yeah,
You're like, we're
there'd be no
good.
point.
New characters. I would like to go see
character.
Father Jacob.
Okay.
You
And
said
thoroughly
you wanted 200?
at 250. I would like to make a donation.
Yes.
To the temple.
I will
Yes.
take that out of the party funds.
I mean, I know we're probably not going to RP it, but I would like to tell him he's a
No, we can RP it. real
man.
quick. Yeah.
All right.
So you come back to the temple, and you can see as you come in, there's a large delivery of fish being made. That under the direction of Father Jacob as you come in, and he sees you and he says, "Oh, I imagine I have you to thank for this."
I would like to do something highly unorthodox, and I hope that's okay. And I give him a big hug.
He kind of does that, like where his arms are down at his sides, kind of thing, and kind of reaches out and kind of like pats you on your love handles a little bit and says, "Yes, Maid Serenade shine on you. I hope that little blessing came in handy." It sounds like
It did. You are a very good man. I would like to make a donation to the church, if that's.
Oh, donations are always welcome.
And I pull out 250 gold pieces and I just hand it to him.
Oh, this is all very generous of you, Fike. I'll make sure that this is put to good use.
Yes, I assume the coming winter we might need a new roof. So if you need anything, apparently I'm in the city of Whitestone. So.
Oh yes, we've heard of your moving up in the world. It's well deserved. Stories be true.
They are. Yes, they are.
Sorry, Rob, you came on a kind of a weird night.
Yeah, right.
No, it's okay.
Real heavy night.
Yeah. We're also doing like the quick little, jump forward in time, downtime thing too. So
No, you're fine.
you also think of, I know you don't, you have for your job completing your mission for Eskil. You got 1,500 gold pieces.
Ooh,
Nice.
For finding Cortanis
Wow,
and
he
them,
really
or
wanted
for
to
finding the
talk to us.
party and bringing them back in one piece to deliver their
Wow.
message.
It's a lot of money.
And I would like to I know we cannot discuss it right now, but I would like to talk of terms of that favor for this deed.
Oh well, of course. Anything that was within my power to give, I'll ask. And the blessings of Serenray herself upon you.
Yeah. Whenever you come in contact with the high priestess Trickfoot, let her know that Father Fike is looking forward to meeting her.
I certainly will. She's oft in Vasselheim these days, reconstructing the temple to Serenray after that bastard Vecna knocked most of the temples in the city to the ground with those meteors. And she's often New Draconia, trying to help out with the establishment of their new capital, and a lot of demands on that one's time. If you
Yeah.
catch what I mean.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Anyway, I don't want to take up any more of your time. You have a good one, and if you need me for anything else, you know exactly where to find me.
Oh, I certainly do. And Fike,
Yeah. Yes.
remember to aid those who are without guide and heal those without hope.
Yeah. Of course.
Serenray's blessings upon you, sir.
And may her light shine upon you as well. And walk away.
He waves as you leave.
Oh.
Alrighty.
Father
Does
Jacob
anybody?
sounds so homey.
Right?
Are we going through that all tonight, or
Yeah, for the next 20 minutes. Yeah. Well, that was kind of probably the last RP side of it. But
I'm buying snakes.
You're buying
What?
snakes?
Snakes. Lots of poisonous snakes.
Oh boy.
Fine. Yeah.
All right. Poisonous
Burn them
snakes
with
aren't
fire.
usually a
In the
thing that
manor.
is for sale.
If I have poison vials, I need to fill with poison. Snakes is the way I get it.
Well,
Snakes.
hang on.
Venom.
Hang on. Before you put the cart before the horse, the alchemy lab to make the poison.
Yes.
So you need to buy the alchemy lab.
Yes.
All right. So
And
why don't you guys take 5 minutes? All right, and talk about what you guys would like. Think about what you individually would like to accomplish over the next 3 months in game, and what you all collectively would like to accomplish for the next 3 months in game. And I would like to try and get this taken care of in about 20 or 30 minutes. This is how I would like to end the session tonight.
Okay.
Is with I'd like to start next session after our little 3 month montage, fast forward downtime thing.
Okay.
So
Okay, so let's get this kicked off. So obviously, Fike, you want an alchemy lab because you want
Yeah.
to make poisons. All right,
Yes.
so that's first on the list. Alch lab. Shango, did you want a enchanting table room, sorcerer room type thing?
an arcane
Yes.
laboratory.
Yes, that.
yes. If something like that exists, yes.
Okay. Arcane lab. Okay, so those are two I definitely knew that we were probably going to invest in.
I do still have an alchemy kit from way back from White Main's
Oh yeah.
thingy that we can set up somewhere.
Yep.
Okay.
You can use that and cut down on the cost of the alchemy center or station.
Nice.
Yep. we can do
So
that.
those are two things that we're definitely getting. What else? And Rob, feel free to chime in whatever you
Sure.
would like as well. Obviously we have a nondescript
Technically
temple.
speaking, Darwin doesn't live here yet.
No.
But he has
We appreciate
he has accommodations at Palor's temple here. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously, I would think that back here would
probably
be that
after you guys
alchemy
adventure
room or
with
something
him,
like
you
that.
might want to invite him to come live with you. But
You want to be
Yeah.
roomies?
So do we want staff? do we want people to take care of the house, and how many can we afford is really the question. Is that something you guys are looking?
Perhaps at least one
with?
to deal with, to take care of the horses when we are not around. The ones for the cart.
I would assume
One staff, at least. 1 to 2 staff, we'll say. Yeah, we'll say 1 to 2, just in case. All right. Anything else other than furniture, obviously, and.
So skilled labor is 2 gold per day. An untrained, unskilled labor would be 2 silver pieces per day. So if you were going to hire someone to handle your horses for you, that would be skilled labor. So that would cost you 2 gold pieces per day. So 2 times essentially 30 is 60 gold pieces a month for someone to take care of your horses for you.
Would we not have the horses with us?
Not all the time.
No, that's fair. If
We're
we
gonna
are
fire them when we leave, and then hire them when we come back.
Well,
You get the sense that people probably wouldn't want a job where that is their schedule.
Do it. Take it or leave
It's just
it.
like holiday.
If we are to install the teleportation circle, would we be able to use it? Considering none of us is a wizard.
Once one of you is able to, once it's installed, you don't actually. You just need to be able to activate it. But you could,
I guess that's what I'm
you
asking.
still have to be able to cast the spell to use it.
Yes.
Where would we go? We've been to like a fishing village and Turst and here. Like
we're gonna
down
go
the street?
places.
My lord
We're
wishes
gonna
to go
This is-
to Amon, doth
I
thou
mean,
not?
Yes. You guys grew up somewhere, so you know your hometowns.
Yeah, but
Story arcs, Fike. Story arcs.
Yeah.
I know, but realistically, how many teleportation circles do we know off the back of our hand without traveling across the continent first?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's got a point. I think once
fair.
we learn our first one, then we can start thinking about installing one,
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
we'll probably
It's
put
also
it in the
an
Arcane
extremely expensive, and you can't
Yes.
afford it. At the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you, sir, for reminding us.
None of us
Hey, don't piss him off. He just gave us a whole bunch of money.
He
And
did
it would-
give us a whole bunch of
And it
money.
would also take about a year.
Yeah, it
someone
does take
to
a
make
year.
Oh wow.
366 days.
You'd have to
So I
hire
I
a
knew
mage.
this all too well.
Yeah, you have to hire
I
a
was-
mage to cast that spell in the same spot
Every day for a
day
year.
for a year.
Wow.
Yep, I learned that.
That's
I learned
crazy.
that very quickly.
So I was thinking we get either a maid and a cook, or if we can get them one as the same, that'd be beneficial. Or at least a maid and somebody who can somewhat cook.
Maid/cook.
Yeah.
I am not Gil, but I am John. I am still a fine cook.
Yeah,
Is
I'm a pretty good cook myself.
No,
Is
Spike?
Spike a good
Fuck
cook?
no. Terrible cook.
Yeah, Noxus can't cook worth a crap. He ate oranges and whatever was on the boat.
Luckily, you have prestidigitation,
Oh wait, no,
so you can
no,
make it taste
no,
however
no,
you
no.
want.
He worked in a bar. He worked in a bar,
Huh.
so he would know at least some
Bar food.
some type.
You can make wings
he
for
would know.
everybody.
He would know basic. Noxus would know how to make basic food. Nothing extravagant like breakfast food, stuff like that. But nothing like filet mignon. So maybe we don't need a cook.
Hey guys,
Sayo?
Yeah.
are we supposed to do something?
We are planning out what we're gonna do for the next.
Did you catch the?
Sorry, how you were gone on a phone call.
Yeah.
You guys were doing like a 3-month fast forward. You know how they did like the year fast forward and Critical Role?
Oh yeah.
Essentially, you guys got 3 months of downtime, so you can customize your house, your new house. You can, you can try to go get something enchanted, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Perhaps a sparring
I know,
space?
guys.
Right now we're talking about like what the group does, right? Because I got a couple of things that I have individually, basically.
We can open up a pizza and macaroni place.
An Italian restaurant.
What is pizza
An
and macaroni?
An Italian
we found out
restaurant.
macaroni from Tourist, right? Or what
Yeah.
was macaroni from Tourist? sort of
mac and cheese.
franchise.
Right.
Mac and cheese. All right,
Any
so
more big things for the house?
yeah, I'll go right down the road. Sayao, is there anything that you want to install in that? Other than like your personal
also
room?
like a training room.
Yeah, training room.
Training room?
Yeah, so we can work each other's strengths.
Yeah. Kratos is kind of interested in his Mage Slayer type abilities, learning.
Oh, okay. You guys want to be able to spar?
Yes.
Where would you guys like to put that?
Well, we'll get to that. Let's figure out what you want
So
first.
we'll write it down. Training room. Shango, anything else other than the arcane lab?
Only personal decorations.
Okay.
I also got a lot of.
You got a lot of what?
I got a lot of extra weapons on me,
Okay.
so I can load them off somewhere.
Kurtanis, what would you like anything else? Big ticket item.
I am in need of nothing. Being able to train with Seo would suffice.
Okay, so that's 2 on the training room. Fike, is there anything else that you would like?
I would like to set up a very, very, very small fort to cut keys and tinker with locks.
You want to buy a workshop, like a tinker workshop?
Yes.
That sounds good.
Okay. One of the few places you could hire that out in this world is in Whitestone.
Nice.
Are you proficient with tinkering tools, Fike?
Not yet, but it's one thing on the list. I have 2 things that I would like to get training in.
Training.
If
Oh
possible.
yeah, training.
All right. Fike and or Rob, did you guys want a temple-ish type deal thing?
And Shango.
And, that's right. Stormlord, Shango, yeah.
Yeah, I got plans for my personal one. Does anyone mind if I take the tower?
I don't.
All right, Caduceus, you got it.
Stick a lightning rod at the top. Give me power.
Yeah.
Stormlord.
Basically.
Big ass lightning rod instead of a tree. Just big ass lightning rod.
Shango eventually becomes powder. Like the movie
Well,
Powder.
if Shango's gonna take that, if he's gonna take the tower,
There, where'd you get a whip?
He's always had a whip.
I actually started with the whip.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
I was like, where the fuck did you get a whip?
That's what I said. I have a lot of shit, and that is really the 2 daggers. The 2 daggers that I just gave Fike. That's why I said make it 4.
Legit.
I've got lots of daggers on me now.
I don't even know how many javelins I have left.
So
Or
did
if I have any.
you all?
We donated
you
them all
all-
to first.
Okay, never mind.
Did you all just want to do your own personal like altars in your own rooms, or did a centralized area?
Well, I mean, you have a room that's essentially
That's what I'm
a
asking.
little temple.
Do
Because
we
you
have,
could
Fledged
make-
one's probably fine.
Yeah, you could make a multi-denomination
yeah.
temple in there.
Yeah, I
If
think
we
that.
have enough. If we have
Universal
enough room, right?
Unitarian.
Well, yeah, because I was gonna say that room's big enough to be the training grounds if we wanted it.
Coexist.
Yeah,
Oh,
or you
that's
could. There's also this cool balcony that you guys could train
Yeah.
on.
Is there like a
You could
It's
clear out
area
the
out back.
basement.
is there
Clear
an
out the
area
basement.
back?
Yeah, plus you guys have a bit of a yard and stuff.
Like a backyard.
Yeah,
But
yard.
you could
Make a
also
mud.
set up, this room here with the table. You could take it out. I mean, we don't have to stick to what's on the map.
Mhm.
If you guys
Okay.
want to change some stuff around, you guys can make your own little notes. And I mean, this is the basic map we're going to use, but
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But you
Because
can-
it
you can
pleases
lay
me.
stuff on top, right?
because it's the one from Critical Role, and that pleases.
Pleases.
Okay, so those are the big ticket items. So let's go.
All right, so just to give you guys an idea, to help expedite this process for you, to keep a stable master would cost you 60 gold pieces a month.
Yep.
And to keep a maid/cook would cost you 60 gold pieces a month. An arcane laboratory would cost $3,000 or 3,000 gold pieces to install. If you paid an extra 500, you could get a residuum enchanting table included, and what that does is it expedites how fast you can enchant things. It makes it faster, the process. Alchemist lab, a fully fitted alchemist lab would normally cost 2,500 gold pieces. However, if you sacrificed the alchemy set that you found, I'd knock 500 gold off, so it would only be 2,000.
2,000.
A training room, sparring den, outfitted with all kinds of like dummies and different kinds of weapons to train with, so you can keep proficient with all your different weapons, and clay, straight, swinging targets, like all sorts of cool shit like that. 1,000 gold pieces. A workshop would be 2,500 gold pieces. A blacksmithing forge would be 1,500 gold pieces. You can combine the arcane lab and alchemist lab into one room, as well as the workshop and smithing into one room if you wanted to. It still costs the same. It still costs the same amount, but
All right.
You said blacksmithing was 15.
yeah. So like a combo workshop blacksmith room would be 4,000 gold pieces, and a combination arcane lab and alchemist lab would cost you guys 5,000 gold pieces, or 5,500 if you want the residuum enchanting table.
Looks like Fike and Shango are being working next to each other a lot now. Oh boy! Oh boy!
Hey, buddy.
We're gonna try to convert each other.
So essentially, right now it would be 8,700, give or take, if I did the math right.
To get all of it,
If I did the math correctly.
including or excluding the residuum enchanting table.
Including the residual.
Including that, you'd be 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11,000 gold pieces.
Okay, I must have done the math wrong.
With the sacrifice from the alchemist set that we already got?
No.
Okay. Which
So
is like minus 500.
So 8,000 even.
So 8,000 even?
Yeah. Or no, sorry.
Yeah, I was like, what?
It's 3,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7, 8, 9. So 10,000. 10,000 without the residuum enchanting table, 10,500 with the residuum enchanting table.
I would say that the residuum would be worth it.
Yeah, I can pay out of
how
my.
long.
Yeah, I have some in my personal funds that I'm happy to throw into for the table.
All right. So that'd be 10,500 gold pieces, and it will take a month for the workers to be able to get all that installed for you.
Okay. Did you guys want to hire any late staff or no? Like maid doesn't have to be stable. Do we want a maid?
Maid / cook / mercenary.
Katana's just gonna end up like making sure things are tidy the entire time. Like every time someone sets like a glass on a table, she's gonna pick it up and scold them and put it away.
Well, if Cortanis is gonna be if Cortanis is gonna be house mom, then I don't think we need one.
Use a fucking coaster, will you?
I said, bitch.
What can I say? She's a neat freak.
And Nox can somewhat cook, so I think we'll be fine. I don't think we need any staff at the moment.
So no staff.
Or technically, all the casters can learn Unseen Servant, and we're good.
Good.
1 hour at a time.
Or you could hire a mage to have that permanently enchanted, so you have an unseen servant that can't leave the boundaries of your house.
How much is that? How much is that?
Mage / maid.
Now we're getting back
How
into
much is that?
Or you could pay extra and make it a scene servant.
How much?
It's got a sheet over it with
How much is that?
Yes, please.
I believe unseen servant is a 2nd level spell.
It's a first level spell.
First.
Yeah, I think
It's a first level spell.
And it's a ritual.
It would take about a month and cost like 1,500 gold pieces.
Oh my gosh, how much would it be for a scene servant?
I think Unseen is so much funnier.
2,000 gold pieces.
Or
So-
we
so-
could go poach some girls from the House of Lady Favors, see if they could help us better.
They already
to
have
make
a job.
No.
They already have a job, Sal.
yeah,
way
I like
better
this
job than that
I
would
like this
give them,
unseen
Sayo.
servant thing, and I
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think that's
So since we're getting
There
we're getting
is a strong sex worker union in Whitestone.
Hell yeah.
oh boy.
all right. Number
Oh,
one,
God, you're
we're
using
getting
the
this
freaking
thing.
spider mile.
Number two, what are we naming the servant? Friday or Jarvis?
Jarvis.
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 Oh,
Yes,
we love you,
very good,
23,000.
Very good.
Aw, too soon.
So wait, did we want the unseen one or did we want the seen one?
If you want it seen, you just put a sheet over it. And
Yeah,
write
I think it's so
servant
much
on.
funnier. It's just magically.
Alright,
printed
so
instead of just a broom going around the house.
With the unseen servant enchantment, it would be an even 12,000 gold pieces.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
All right, so mark off the gold.
Oh, can we get a
And-
vault? Do we need a small vault?
Would you like a
Would that
vault
not
installed?
have unseen servants?
Sure. Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea, Mike.
Because we have all this money now, and we don't want to be.
Yeah.
Do you want a vault or like a large safe?
Well, I mean, we have pirates, so
Um,
we could totally bury it in the backyard too.
I don't want a portable
Funny.
thing. Bit market with a big red X.
You could convert the basement into a vault.
Let's do that. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Is
Reinforce.
that
the
what you
door.
would like to do?
You guys
Um,
good with that?
Depends on the price.
Reinforce the door.
It depends on how nice, on how high, that depends on how much,
How
how
complex.
high quality do you want it to be, essentially. Do you want it to be like the best that physical people can do that money can buy, or the best that you can get in a combination of technology and magic, or do you want like magical protections on it? Because then we can get this fucking really expensive. It depends on how crazy you want to go.
Well, okay. I'll say this. Guys.
Here, let's put it this way.
13,000 gold.
Let's put it this way. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being like small old Western bank that gets robbed by like Jesse James level security. 10 being like Ocean's 11 level security
Green
system.
Gods.
Yeah. Where would
Dragon in the basement.
what would you want to be at?
I'd probably say around a 6. What do you guys think?
I want to
6 or 7,
say
yeah.
somewhere around where those guys from what was it, To Catch a Thief or whatever.
Cheaters?
Damn it! No, there was those magician dudes that totally.
Catch a thief. I think that's right.
Yeah,
Dude, no, that's a 10. That's a 10, bro.
I want
Get
the
magicians in on
exact
this.
I want the exact vault from Now You See Me too.
That's a 10, homie.
So what do you got? But 10. I mean, you guys can't afford a 10 anymore after all your other stuff.
No.
But
You don't need a 10.
Yeah, I
we
would
don't
say
need
a
it
6.
until we start getting more money because we're gonna spend most of it on all this other stuff.
yeah,
I mean,
alright.
technically, we could always stick the money inside the bag of holding.
That
This
is
is
true.
also true. We convert
Well,
it to
guys, the bag of
platinum
holding
security.
has limit.
Best security
Right.
system is you guys.
Yeah. I mean, the bag of holding does have limits, unfortunately. And
Actually, no, that's not true because we got robbed and your system is not us.
Well,
No,
not
It was
nothing
thy
out of the
own
bag of
fault.
holding got robbed.
yeah.
Nothing out of the bag of holding got robbed.
That's true.
That's why Knox kept his money because it was in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
It's always in the bag. of holding.
You could also convert all your money to platinum, and then it takes up less space in the
Exactly.
bag.
Ooh, can we do that,
Well, press
guys?
it.
Yeah, you can do that over the 3 months. You can go to the Chamber of Whitestone and be like, "Hey, can we make change?"
Yeah.
Gold
You
pouches
The
of
reverse of
gold.
change.
Big
technically.
bills only, boys.
can also get some diamonds.
So-
or rubies.
So what is that number?
So 10 gold pieces equals 1 platinum.
Yes.
Okay, so.
So take your gold and divide it by
10.
10.
So 1,068 divided by 10. 16.8.
So 16 platinum and 8 gold pieces left over.
Thank you.
Anyway, from your 25,000, you guys have 13,000 left. So you guys made your. You can decide what rooms are which. Are you guys? Do you guys want the vault or not? No.
Now.
That's
Now
alright for
we're
now.
Okay.
I would like one of these 2 rooms, please.
Ratan's is
No,
gonna
I
do her
meant-
normal thing against the door, across from the door anyway, so she doesn't need a bed.
Yeah.
Preferably
I
that
meant-
door.
I meant like what rooms are going to be the arcane lab and alchemist lab.
Ah.
What
Good.
room is going to be the training room, and
Since
what
it looks
room
so
is
pretty
the
already.
workshop
The training room is the one with the arcane circle in it, obviously.
Yes.
All
No.
right.
It's the training room, not the arcane
No.
lab.
No, the arcane lab would be in here.
All right, so that's on the second floor.
If no one minds it, because it looks so pretty already.
It's
And
very
ready.
pretty.
Yeah,
Totally.
you're right.
The workshop / blacksmith smithy.
I would think that would be
Somewhere downstairs.
That would have to be on the first floor.
it would
Yeah.
be one of these 2 rooms, more
Well-
so probably.
Yeah, or you could do this room.
Yeah.
That's the kitchen, isn't it?
That is the kitchen actually. Never mind, you couldn't do that room.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
You can do that
I think,
room.
That
I
one's
think that
fine.
room.
So you
Yeah, that's
convert
fine.
the office into a workshop / blacksmith center. You have to
Now-
install a chimney and stuff.
Yeah. No problem.
We don't want to keep the alchemy next to it, do we?
No.
No,
bad
that's
idea.
in with the arcane laboratory.
Yeah, it's upstairs.
Oh, okay. So that's
That's
upstairs.
upstairs, away from it. Yeah.
With snakes.
Training room
Snakes.
out on the balcony, or this empty room right here.
Which one?
There's
What
an
was the
empty
empty
room
room?
on the
Ah.
second
I like
floor.
that. I like that.
Alright.
Yeah.
So
we
there's your
can
training room.
combine them both if we really want to make the training room. If we need more space, you can
Training
go
room,
out.
which goes out onto the balcony.
Nice.
This
Yeah.
bedroom goes out onto the balcony, and then this office, I don't know, whatever you guys want it to be, goes out onto the balcony. It could be another bedroom if you want it to be. Or then there's this double bedroom and stuff. So, all right. Any stuff that you guys wanted to get done over the 3 months?
I got a
Shango,
couple-
we know one of the things you're doing, so.
Yes, I got a couple other things if I have time. I don't know, like, other people can go first if they want to, or...
We can just go down the line. Who
Yeah,
wants
Yeah,
to
let's
go
go down
first?
the line.
Who wants to go first? Sayal, what do you got, if anything?
I was probably just gonna see if I can get a chance to talk to Percy again and ask him if he might know any way that could find Tyrannus.
So you get an audience with Percy, and he says that, yeah, he's got a bunch of ears all over Taldore, and he would be happy to let his little birds keep their ear to the ground, and if they hear anything about Tyrannus, he will be sure to let you know. He has his own master of spies at this point, so he will keep his ear to the ground, and if he hears anything, he'll be happy to let you know.
I guess that, and make sure the adamantine will fit me, I guess.
The plate does fit you. You would need it to get it adjusted.
Okay, yeah, just do that.
But there is a master armorsmith in town that if you wanted to have it altered in any way, you could.
Okay, sure. I guess I'll give that a try.
How would you want it to be changed? You could convert it into medium armor if you want. Or you can keep it as plate armor and just get it fitted to you. It's up to you.
I'd probably try to do it like more of a breastplate.
All right, so if you convert it to a breastplate, you'd have quite a bit left over if you'd like to do anything with that.
I actually wanted to ask if you could make like any kind of piecemeal light armor, medium armor for Noxus with the rest of it.
Adamantine studded armor?
No, adamantine armor has to be at least medium.
Oh,
Well, I mean, I'm
Breastplate.
planning
You
on
could-
taking.
You could have them melt it down and turn it into 2 breastplates if you wanted to.
would you be able to wear that? Knox.
Eventually, I'm going to
take
be
your
able
feet
to.
for
Yes.
He's planning on taking the medium armor feat at 8th level.
Oh yeah. Then I'll just have them do that.
All right. He tells you it'll take him about a month, and it'll cost you 400 gold pieces for him to make the alterations and everything.
That'd be fine with me. That sounds awesome.
All right. So you can go back. So when you go back in a month, you now have that full adamantine plate has been converted to adamantine breastplates, 2 of them.
Okay. What specifics would I still be at 19 or would I be lower?
So what is your dex modifier?
3.
3. So you would be at 16. So because it's 14 plus a max of 2 on your dex.
Yeah, so 16, and then
So
plus 1 for your
16,
fighting style.
and then plus 1 for your fighting style. So 17 when you're dual wielding.
Oh.
And critical hits against you are just regular hits because adamantine. It's pretty awesome.
And that would be the same. That would be the same for me once I'm able to wear it.
Yes, it would be 14 plus whatever your dex modifier is.
It would be 15.
So your dex modifier is plus 1.
Yes.
So yeah, it would make yours 15. So you are able to do that. Anything else, Sal?
No, I guess that would be it.
All right, Shango.
All right, I had a couple things.
Sure.
So, where was my little thing?
If people are tuning in to us for the first time, they tuned in for like the shopping episode.
Sorry.
Oh, train, right? On the
Sorry, we
small-
just got to keep. My bad.
Yeah.
small thing-
No, this is fun stuff too.
Keep
in my
episode.
opinion.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's the keep episode. It's
on
not
the
a keep; it's more of a manner. But
Yeah.
anyway,
I would like to get a new charmed fashion from a local smith.
local jeweler, sure.
Yeah, local jeweler.
What
or,
would you like commissioned?
A katana sword.
A katana sword,
Aw.
sure. You actually find a smith who's a bit older, hill dwarf that actually lives here in Whitestone, and actually recalls seeing designs for such an ancient weapon and says that she could probably put one together.
Yay.
Anything special to it that you want them to do?
Out of silver, and I described what katanas is. Katanas, so
Yeah.
katana, whatever.
So you want it made out of silver? You want it silvered?
Yes.
All right. So it would cost you the same as a longsword, essentially, which I believe is like 25 gold pieces, but plus an additional 50 gold pieces for the silvering.
Even though it's so small.
So that's 75 gold.
75.
I'm just double checking the price of a longsword. Longsword. Or probably be closer price to a scimitar, actually. So, yeah, 25 gold pieces. Because it's a finesse weapon, right? So,
Well, he's just getting a
Yeah, I
charm.
thought you were getting a charm. Yeah, bracelet
Yeah.
charm.
oh, you're getting a charm! My bad. Okay. So that actually only would only cost you for the work and everything. That would cost you like 5 gold pieces.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
So good. All right, that is that, and then
I misunderstood.
and then in terms of stuff for the house, I started drawing around here. I want to install on the floor of the top of the tower a giant court symbol inlay.
Sure, you can hire a stone worker to come in and like carve the symbol of cord into the top of the tower.
Yeah.
We'll say that'll cost you 100 gold pieces.
Done. Because that's awesome. Okay.
Well, no, it would cost you 60 gold pieces because it's a skilled laborer for
For a month.
a month. Yeah.
It's a cord helipad.
Yep. All right, that is that. And then for enchanting, can you remind me? I basically cast a spell into an item several times to enchant
So
something.
yeah,
right?
so basically my rules for enchanting go like this. You have to be able to at least cast a third level spell in order to enchant things. And when you're enchanting something, you can you are currently only trained in like basic enchantment, Shango.
Okay.
So you can do like basic enchantments. Like you can instill an item with maybe a first level spell or a cantrip. So you can instill an item to be able to cast like a first level spell once a day or something like that.
Okay.
Or you can make something +1 essentially. You can make like a piece of armor +1 or a weapon +1.
Okay.
But you can get more training to be able to do more better enchantments.
Yep. How long would that take?
Because you have to wait for your laboratory to be installed. You'll have 2 months left once it's installed, but you did get the residuum enchantment tower, so that cuts down on the time. So it depends on what you're trying to enchant.
We also have residual.
Oh, the
that you
training?
can use.
How much the training itself to get like a more advanced?
Oh yeah, we did get some residuum. Nice.
Yep.
You do have a bunch of residuum. That's right.
About 400 gold worth.
Nice.
To get more training in it, you can it would probably take like another month of training and paying for the training. You could expand that to like instilling something with a third level up to like a third level spell. So like you could make like, because sendings is like that's not a third level spell. Sending's like a fourth level spell, isn't it?
Sending is a third level spell.
But
sending is a third level spell. So like you would be able to make like sending stone.
Sending stones, yeah.
And you could also imbue things with like elemental damage, so long as you have a spell that does that kind of elemental damage.
Yeah,
right?
so I could like cast like lightning bolt or shocking grasp.
Yeah, so you could make a weapon that does additional lightning damage.
Yep. With sending, would he be able to? The way with the earrings like they did in the first one.
Well, that was more of like a message cantrip into those earrings than a sending spell.
And I do not know the sending spell, so.
You do not, but you guys do have a pair of sending stones.
Yeah, we do.
I do.
Yes.
Reverse engineering. That can't go wrong.
But that would take you about another month, Shango.
To enchant.
No, to get that training.
Oh yeah.
And that would cost you 1,000 gold pieces.
Okay. How much time am I spending with Eskil?
That's more flavor. You're spending short bursts of time with him when he has the energy over the course of the whole 3 months.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because he is, you can tell, like he's basically on his deathbed, like quite literally.
Okay. Yeah, so then I would like to do the training if I can take 1,000 gold out of the party fund. If no one minds.
That's not up to me.
Yeah, I'm asking to the party.
I mean, I would say part of that would be Cortanus' portion, which goes to him anyway, so yeah.
How do I take that out of platinum?
So it would be
100 platinum for 1,000
Yeah, it's
gold.
100. Yeah, exactly.
100 platinum is 1,000 gold.
Yes. Basically, you just remove one of the zeros.
Yep.
So we have 60 platinum pieces left.
Did you add the like 12,000 gold or so in that we had left from Percy's fund?
No, they were planning on converting that to platinum as well. You know.
Oh,
so that would be. Yeah, so that would be.
Okay,
so
I kept it completely separate from everything.
Yeah, so that's the party fund. So how much was left in the party fund after all the buying shit? I believe it was 13,000 gold.
Yeah, we have 13,000 gold.
So that would be 1,300 platinum pieces.
13. So we have 1,360 platinum pieces.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So
while we're on the topic, how long does it take to enchant?
it depends on what you're trying to enchant.
Okay. Depends.
The
Okay,
more, the bigger the enchantment you're going for, the longer it takes.
Okay, I'll get back to it when I actually have time to enchant something.
You could enchant something small in a month. Something that was like a cantrip or first level-y thing. You probably couldn't plus one anything, but
yeah, like a message.
Yeah, you could make like a pair of message rings.
Yeah. All right, cool. Can I do that? Like a pair of message rings, basically.
Yeah, you could enchant actually like one of your charms for it, so it'd be like the little CIA wrist, like
yeah, exactly.
essentially.
Stop touching your ear.
We start playing "Get Down, Mr. President."
Yeah.
The blue guy is talking into his sleeve again.
And they would have.
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
That would take, that would take you about a month, and it would cost you like, I'd say like 500 gold pieces in materials.
Okay.
And it would take you not even like a month. It would take you like, because it's like a cantrip type thing. Do you have this spell message?
Yes.
So yeah, so it would take like 2 weeks, and cost you like 500 gold pieces, or 500 gold pieces worth of residuum.
We have 400.
All right. Again, if the party doesn't mind, I would take it out of the party fund.
That's fine with me.
All right. So you're gonna use for the 400 gold pieces of residuum, and then another.
I think I'm gonna just use straight up money.
Yeah, I just took it out of the fund.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you use 500 gold pieces worth of materials, and take 2 weeks to enchant a pair of bracelets, essentially your charm bracelet and one other, to be able to cast the message cantrip at will.
Yay.
They do not require attunement.
Okay. They only cast to each other.
But they only cast to each other. Yes.
Perfect. Is there a limit once a day?
Nope. As much as you want. Unlimited.
Cantrip.
Yep. Cantrips.
Good stuff.
There you go.
Sorry, guys.
And that's pretty much your 3 weeks.
That's pretty much.
Unless there's any little shopping you wanted to do.
Yeah, there's something that's small enough, I would think. I always wanted to research elemental planes, but I guess it's too much then.
Yeah, that would be. You wouldn't have time for that yet.
What should hopefully be short enough is I want to find someone that can cast comprehend language. Have them cast it into White Man's Rod.
Okay.
And then when I'm by myself, cast comprehend language so I can read the letter tome that we got from the hags on the island in Journal Lake.
Oh, all right. So it's easy enough for you to find someone to cast comprehend languages. It costs you 25 gold to get it cast into the rod.
Sweet.
Actually, you know what? Hold on to that, because we're going to get to that at the end of the session.
Ooh.
Okay.
So just hold on to that. All right. Noxus.
Aye.
I'm saving you some money. Shango, you'll see.
Yay.
So I would, for one, kind of like to do the same thing I did. Go and ask the Dorolos.
Yes.
If they could look out for a Ravenite captain
named Gator.
Or I can message you.
Yeah. No, they
name.
they tell you they will happily do that for you. They'll keep their little birds will keep their ear to the ground, and they will inform you if anything turns up.
Okay. And then the other thing I would like to do is I would like to research more about this entity that I am in pact with, and find out exactly who they are as much as I can. With what is there, and I would like to see if I can find a way to communicate with them more accurately than I do now, which I think I think I'm not going to be able to, but just I think that's what Noxus would do.
All right, make an investigation check for me. Two. You spend more time during the 3 months than you would have liked in hunting down this information. But you are finally able to, once you get access to one of Percy's old libraries, you are finally able to learn about this entity that you think is, and and based on who you think it is. What you learn is that Tiamat, the scaled tyrant, is the evil queen of dragons, according to this book, is a fearsome god of greed, envy, and hoarded wealth. While chromatic dragons are her clearest worshippers, the scaled tyrant accepts the worship of all who love wealth over all things. Except the Queen of Dragons herself, of course. All chromatic dragons have a reverence for their tyrannical queen, but many dragons of near deific power and ambition chafe under her rule. Though the scaled tyrant was pleased by the chaos the Chroma Conclave spread across Exandria, the prideful conclave never considered themselves subservient to the Queen Dragon. The scaled tyrant's hatred for the Platinum Dragon is as old as the founding, and her cults are ever hunted by his justice. Her worship has for centuries been limited to chromatic dragons by these zealous paladins, but sects of mortal dragon worshippers have been appearing across Taldore ever since the Chroma Conclave's attack. Most visual representations of the scaled tyrant exist as a warning within sanctuaries of the Platinum Dragon. She is often shown as a drake of frightful size, massive leathery wings, birthing clouds of poisonous mist with every flight, while she shouts from 5 vicious dragon heads, each head depicting a different chromatic color of her evil children. This clicks for you because you so often, when you hear the voice, it's voices that you hear. The last thing you learn is her commandments. Amass wealth and spend little. The gold and the power that comes with it is sufficient reward. Do not forgive nor forget an indignity to yourself. Let no affront go unpunished. And take what you covet. Those without the strength to defend their dominion are not worthy to have a dominion. Takes you the majority of 2 months to get all that information.
Okay. When Shango gets a moment, I would like to ask him if he could enchant the armor that was made for me to, be a +1. And that's about all I really want to do.
He will not have time during this downtime, but that's something that he could do for you in the future.
Yeah, I figure I won't have it for a little while, so. And also, awesome, thank you. And I also, just so everybody knows, I converted the copper and the silver into gold. So now we have 1,310 platinum, 382 gold, 79 silver, 9 copper.
Cool.
Cool. All right. Anything else, Noxus, with your downtime?
I guess kind of just practicing talking to her
Uh-huh.
and seeing what more I'm able to do and how to walk that fine line, being a good person and not falling into evil, and like trying to, just trying to be good, but like still following what she wants me to, because obviously I don't want to lose my powers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alrighty. Cortanus.
Okay. So I guess she would see if she'd be reluctant to ask, but she'd probably ask Shango if she could use a little bit of funds and see if she can find someone to get a proper mending done on her outfit, since it's like old clothing that people probably don't make anymore. So wants to keep it in top shape as much as possible, and it's gotten beaten up a lot over the course of getting stabbed a lot.
Yeah, you could take it to a like a seamstress or whatever, and they could fix it up for you.
Okay.
Cost like 5 gold.
Okay.
Make it the best you can find.
Most appreciated, my lord. Otherwise, aside from like RP stuff that I want to do later, I guess. She might.
We'll do that
see
at the beginning of next session.
Just tempted to see, especially after everyone basically got lordships, she was kind of like hesitant about that. She was kind of curious whether anyone around here might be able to help her figure out what house her own signet ring comes from.
Okay. Make an investigation check. A very difficult investigation check.
Yeah. This will be great.
16.
Right.
You spend quite a bit of time in Percival's personal library, where he keeps a lot of those kinds of records. It's one of the things he's very proud was that survived the Briarwoods was the nobility records going back generations and generations and generations, not just for Whitestone, but other kingdoms as well, because other noble houses are expected to keep track of these things so that they know other nobles when they arrive. And however, none of his records seem to go back far enough. However, you do see in some of the newer ones some of the nobility houses ending and new ones being created. And there's small lists of the responsibilities that go along with each house. One of the things you are able to find as now lords and ladies, second house of Whitestone and defenders of the East, you are expected to help lead the Pale Guard in the defense of Whitestone, should that ever arise.
Good to know.
It seems to be your only real responsibilities.
Okay. Yeah, definitely make note of that so that everyone knows.
Yeah. Much like the Grand Poobah doesn't really have any real responsibilities. It's more of a title in name only kind of thing.
Okay, but we at least have one thing we need to do.
Yeah, but
she
that's
doesn't
also
consider
kind
herself
of
part of a Lord of Whitestone.
you are, however, listed in the record as Lady. Assuming that's how you would have preferred it to be in there, Lady Cortanus of the second house of Whitestone.
She really doesn't know how to feel about that. She really doesn't know how to feel about that.
Defender of the East. Percival has a couple conversations with you about how, as nobility, especially in Whitestone, it makes you more of a servant than anything else.
Tis less about that and more. Tis very complicated, my lord. I shall not bring it up further for now.
Yes, defender of Italian virginity.
What?
From A Knight's Tale.
Oh, right. But yeah, that is a much more difficult conversation than she wants to have right now, most probably, before she has other conversations.
No worries.
So, another thing, She was tempted to learn stuff about land vehicles from Seo because he shouldn't be the only one who knows how to drive the carriage at any given moment.
Yeah, I would say, you could spend some time with Seo over the course of the 3 months, and you gain proficiency with land vehicles.
Hooray!
Yeah, totally.
Sweet. Then really the only other thing
So he takes you out in the winding paths of Whitestone, up into the mountains, even on some of those hard turns, and you guys do some extreme.
learn how to parallel park. It's great.
Exactly.
Thanks, Dad.
Slow, don't scratch the paint. Don't scratch the paint.
Drift!
You think like the Eurobeat music playing in the background, just whining.
Two barrels.
We set our watches to Tokyo time.
Don't damage, baby.
Running in the 90s. Last little thing. Otherwise, she'd basically just be helping Shango to gather any materials and basically act as an extra pair of hands for any work that she can help him with. Time, so that's bad.
Alrighty. Fike.
Snakes. Poisonous snakes.
Alright, so you can't really... There's not like a place you can really go to buy like poisonous snakes. However, you can
Are you
go
just gonna eat the
hunting
snakes and
around
find out?
the borders of the Parchwood for poisonous snakes.
Okay.
You can make a survival check.
Right.
Or you can hire a professional hunter to go and acquire you poisonous snakes.
How much does that
trapper.
cost?
I'd say,
Poisonous snake.
like, how many are you looking to get?
I'm trying to make poison on a more massive scale than
So, like,
necessary.
several dozen.
I would say a dozen, maybe a baker's dozen.
All right. That would cost. I'd say that'd take them a couple weeks.
That's fine.
So I'd say it would cost you like 250 gold pieces.
All right, that's fair. Does everybody mind that comes out of the party fund?
Y'all are poor.
Huh? Dude, I have 60.
Go for it. It's gonna help us
No, I
out
have
later
77.
anyway.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, you have the servant of Tiamat as the party accountant.
Yeah.
The servant of hoard your wealth, hoard your wealth.
Fitting very much. If anyone is proficient in investigation, you wouldn't mind training me a little bit, so I know what traps look like. That would be nice.
Because I obviously don't.
That would take almost the rest of your downtime.
All right.
I don't think anyone is proficient in it.
Nope. I just have a non-negative number.
Yeah, well...
Rob, I think your camera froze. Yep, it did. Your camera froze in this weird... where your face was in this weird position.
Looking for me, you're the one who's
let me give you the other list of the other things before we decide that investigation is the other thing. I would like to spend some time with Darvin and Knox, being a upright citizen and doing good, and just trying to be not a terrible person all the time.
Starting the Upright Citizens Brigade.
We can role play that at the beginning of next session.
I would like to go to a tailor and get new vestments made because mine are all...
vestments made?
Yeah.
Okay. That it costs you the same as like fine clothes, or there might be its own price.
Hey, if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna jump out so I can go to bed.
Okay.
Yeah. You got 7 XP, buddy.
Nice.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
Good night.
Fuck.
Night, guys.
Night.
Later.
Night.
Yeah, we'll fine clothes. So, 15 gold.
All right, that's fine. While I'm there, I would like to commission to make sleeping companions, little stuffed sleeping companions for all my members of my party. So I would like a stuffed alligator for Knox, a stuffed bear for Sayao, a big stormy cloud with a thunderbolt coming out of it for Shango.
Yay!
A fox for myself, a nice big bright sun for Darvin, and a very delicate but very squishy rose for Cortanas.
Oh.
And I don't tell them about it. I just place it on their beds.
Kaz doesn't have a bed.
I think Shango might insist that you have a bed.
You'd have to order, otherwise she's sleeping facing the door.
I order you to take a bed.
Yeah, I don't know. Shango's like, I don't really want you sleeping outside my door. Like,
you can have.
I need a little bit of. I mean, I appreciate it, but like, I need a little bit of personal space.
It's not supposed to be. It only seems romantic because it's a rose, but it's not. He goes, if I will place it outside the door, but
all right.
But
there's a small room like down here connecting the tower on the first level, right? It's a
Yes.
Cortanas' room.
yeah, you guard the stairs. The stairs going up. Yeah, Cortanas is just sprawled out on the stairs. Anyway,
I'll say that
Harry Potter.
costs you 25 gold pieces.
That's fine.
You guys can alter the bag of holding, right? Yeah, you should be able to.
Yeah, everybody connects with it.
Yep.
All right,
And
cool.
if I could talk with the Master of Secrets for a little bit and try to see if there's put any nodes out there to find my old gang, because I want to murder them.
Politely. Good person.
He tells you that he will keep Percy tells you he will keep again. He will also keep his ear to the ground for you.
Okay. And so I'm stuck halfway between being the training between investigation or tinkering.
You'll be able to do one or the other at this point.
Yeah, I think
it.
I'm going to take tinkering just because if Percy's willing to teach me while I'm here, I'm willing to learn.
He will give you the rundown. He will teach you tinkering 101.
That is fine.
So you become proficient with tinker tools,
Nice.
and he even buys you your first set of tinker tools.
Oh,
You
Derolo.
never forget your first set.
Oh, you're so sweet. You are a beautiful, handsome bastard.
All right, and that ends you, Father Fike. Darvin, anything you would like to accomplish over these 3 months?
I mean, I haven't really done much, so I'm probably.
I
Just
know
gonna...
it's yeah.
No, it's fine. I'm probably gonna do like religious services,
Okay.
and stuff like that, like I would normally do.
Okay, totally. You take up your responsibilities of when you're not out on for the temple.
Yeah.
What you do when you're usually at home. Your usual good deeds and trying to help people find redemption and healing the sick and just being an all good guy, shining the Dawn Father's light on those who are less fortunate and can't bask in his sunshine as often.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else? Just that?
Yeah, probably for now. I don't really have enough money to go too crazy.
All right. I just didn't know if you like some basic supplies or something at the general store, like a grappling hooks or anything like that.
Let's
or,
hang
I
out,
don't know.
Darvin. Hang out with everybody. We gotta get to know you.
Yeah, sure.
I'm hanging out with you.
We'll do
come
that
out
at the
over
beginning of
and-
next session. Yeah, we'll do a bunch of roleplay of you getting to know.
I assume like my first few weeks, I come over and I try and help these guys, adjust to their new.
Yeah, well,
mansion by
you're
themselves.
a
Helping us
local.
move, you
you know?
buy pizza
Yeah.
and beer, and you help us bring in shit.
Yeah. Well, he's
Exactly.
also a native. He's from Whitestone,
There you
so
go.
he helps.
So like I can get
He's got
you
a truck.
connected with.
yeah, he
I
can
can
help
tell you like the
yeah,
mage.
yeah,
who,
he can. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I could like introduce him to the mage that has that can do the unseen servant spell and.
Like,
Yeah.
I know a guy. I know.
Yeah,
went to
this is
college
his
with him.
hometown.
Nice.
He can help introduce you to your new home, your new hometown. But anyway, yeah. So cool, guys. Also, Shango, one of the things you gain from completing your task for the Realm Seer, and in the training that he teaches you, he helps to teach you a modicum of control over your powers, a bit more control, and what you get is he also helps you understand for you, your magic has always come from within you. It's just a thing you've been able to do.
Yeah.
But he helps you to understand kind of the formulas of magic, the air quotes science behind how it works, and you gain the ritual caster feat.
Woo!
So you now have a spell book. You now have a spell book that you can put that can hold a number of ritual spells in it. And you will be able to ritually cast these spells so long as you have your book.
Does the book come with spells in it already?
It does, as a
Tiny
matter
hut.
of fact.
Tiny hut.
The two spells that it has, that it comes with, are Identify and Comprehend Languages.
Oh, look
Ooh.
at that.
Which is why I told you to hold off earlier.
Nice.
Um,
Eventually, tiny hut.
You can also,
Eventually, yes.
this book is a wizard's ritual spell book, so you can only learn ritual spell. But you can add, if you find like scrolls or other spell books, or wizards that are willing to teach, you can add more ritual spells to the book over time.
Nice.
All right.
All the good shit.
And those spells can be any spells that
They have to be wizard spells.
wizard ritual spells. Okay.
Yes.
Wizards get the most of those. So.
And your ability modifier for these spells would be intelligence, not charisma.
Okay, gotcha. But so they don't have to be sorcerer spells too.
They can't. They have to be wizard spells. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They have to be on the wizard spell list.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Modifier is intelligence. Sweet.
But yeah, currently there are two spells in there that he teaches you and helps you put in there, and that is Comprehend Languages and Identify.
Sweet
Nice.
stuff. I am most gracious to the realms here. I'm super excited about my new spellbook.
Yay!
Yes, we all see it in your face, Shango. You seem so excited.
I am very excited about this.
I am overcome with emotion.
Yeah, I am overjoyed. I am overjoyed. This is a great thing. This is the greatest day of my life.
Can you not see the joy in my face?
No.
See quite clearly, my lord. It's very.
You're like an Earth Genasi, because right here it's all.
Just so.
Everybody enjoy your new snuggle buddy of respective size and shape.
Yes.
All right, so I would think, considering the time, I'll read the book next session. Or...
Yeah. Yes. Next session, we're gonna get into all the RP that we need to do.
Yep.
Darvin interacting with the party and getting to know them. You reading the book. And other things.
Yep.
Other things.
Other things.
Cool.
The next arc of the story, essentially. Shango, you got 8 experience points tonight. Kurtanis, you got 7. Fike, you got 7. Darvin, you got 6. And Sayao, you got 8.
Curiosity question. Could I enchant a piece of armor with the shield spell? So that
You could enchant some. That wouldn't even have to be a piece of armor. You could enchant like a piece of jewelry with it.
So they could cast shield like
once per day. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
It would take a couple months.
Yeah, because shield is first level.
Shield's the
Yeah,
first
we will.
level. Well, what you did previously was a cantrip, which is
Cantrip,
why that would normally take a month, but because of your special enchanter table, it took 2 weeks.
Gotcha.
So for you to do a first level spell would normally take 2 months, but because of your special enchanter table, it would take 1 month.
All right. What would I get out if I cast lightning bolt as an enchantment spell? Because you said with the training I can go up to 3rd level, right?
With the training, you'd be able to, go up to being able to instill something with a 3rd level spell.
Yeah. So could I instill like a sword with lightning bolt, and then it does extra lightning damage?
Yes.
Sweet. Probably takes like a year to do though.
Not a year. I think the book's rules on enchanting are a bit harsh.
Yeah.
The rules as written. I tend to shorten it significantly more to like months as opposed to, I mean, depending on the enchantment, like something
Yeah,
like a
that's fair.
teleportation circle takes like a year, but
Yeah, that's fair. Something to do for the next downtime.
yeah, exactly. But like making a sword +1 that does extra lightning damage could be done over a couple months or over a few months.
Yeah.
You know?
You want some lightning swords?
Nice.
Alright.
Okay.
Cool.
Awesome.
Any questions? You kind of joined us on a weird episode or session there, Rob.
Sorry.
I know. But I also kind of wanted to get him to be part of the, the next quest. Like he's the one that's like, hey, I'm gonna help you guys on this one because I know things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you drink?
But-
Do you drink and know things? I think that needs to be the
Yeah.
status.
All right. So I hope you guys had a good time, and we'll pick up everything next week at the same time.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Is it Wednesday yet?
Cortanas, please do not clean the poisonous snake cages. The love of God. Let me take care of this.
But they're so dirty, Cortanas.
That's
It's
gross.
so dirty in there.
100% going to be disgusting, and I don't want you to touch them.
At least they're in cages.
There's like all sorts of grossness in there and stuff.
Yeah, I
Cortanas.
wanna touch that. To be fair, it doesn't
Please
actually
don't.
want to touch that, but
Please tell me you count the snakes every night.
Cortanas is like the Danny. Cortanas is like the Danny Tanner of Dungeons and Dragons.
I think I will count the snakes
good night,
every
everybody.
night.